Hello Radio, KV2ZVP Mobile. Where's everybody tonight? Here's Kilo Bravo 2, Zulu Victor Papa Mobile. How are the band conditions tonight? This is Kilo Bravo 2, Zulu Victor Papa Mobile. Where's that W2KRY? KB2ZVP Mobile. Where's everybody? Kilo Bravo 2, Zulu, Victor, Papa, Mobile. Mobile in motion, Central New York.
Nobody in here but us chickens.
Who's the week, Mobile?
Hey, how you doing, Randy?
Good, how about you?
All good in the almost Toad Harbor hood, buddy.
What are you doing in the mobile at 7 p.m.?
I just got out of work. And heading home.
Is that what you call it now?
That's what I call it. Yes, sir.
Sounds more like a marriage.
Marriage made in heaven, buddy.
Oh, boy.
Hey, I get to see my wife all day long. I like it. Just think about it. This is the only time during the day, or a little bit in the morning, that I'm not around my wife.
Really?
Yeah, she's there till 4:30, you know, hanging out, doing whatever she does, and I get to hang out. We get to hang out, have lunch together every day. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, that part's pretty cool, yeah.
Holy crap, I can hear you on my log, but I can't hear you on the transmit antenna. How screwed up is that?
Somebody else in there, Randy?
I don't know. I hear some muttering going on. I'm not sure. Hey, I didn't get a harump out of that guy. Hi, Mark.
N3 RMR, are you happy?
Oh, there we go. W2KRY. Yes, we've properly recognized Mark of the Harrisburg marks.
My God, now the radio police are on this frequency.
Oh, really? I'm out of here.
High standing in him. You know, we are the bar, from what I was told yesterday, Sunday. We are the bar. I can't be letting guys just come in with their handles.
Oh, you may think you're the bar, but there's differing opinions depending on where you go.
None of that matters. Opinions are like what, Randy? The funny thing is, they all know what happens here.
Yeah, Ben's not leveled out enough yet, Randy.
Randy, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I mean, my intended conversation is happening. Mark thinks because he came in here, somebody actually wants to talk to him.
Try it again, Randy.
Well, Randy, they make medicine for that.
It's homeopathic medicine, too, I'll bet.
That's homeopathic. Well, let's clear that up.
No, I said it right the first time. It's homeopathic.
Oh, God. Mark, I'm sorry.
Hey, sorry about what? That you're here?
You gotta keep up, Randy.
Don't be sorry. Just transmit. That's all you gotta do.
You're not allowed to. I gotta put you on secret probation now.
Oh, I'm not exactly getting thrown off another frequency. I'm just on probation. Oh,
no, not you,
first.
Randy. He's one transmission away from getting thrown off the net.
Will I do? Where will I go?
Well, you don't have to worry about him going crazy because he's already been there for a while.
Uh-oh. I'm getting a bad connection here somewhere. I got a sticky relay contact already. Can you believe that?
It's raining pretty hard here right now. I just ran into a big downpour. Is it raining hard there, Randy?
No, not raining at all.
Yeah, it wasn't raining at work. I just came around the corner on 9 here. It's just a deluge.
Yeah, I can see it on the radar there, Randy. Yep, you're under a deluge.
Like being delusional?
We're not getting a deluge here because there's no rain.
Oh, you're all good. It's just a wee sprinkle.
Just getting the bugs off the windshield, the way I look at it.
The all-powerful N1 DVL's here.
Hello, Raymond.
The all-powerful smelling?
Nope, I smell great.
Evening, Ray.
Good evening at 100 watts. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left.
I just proved my log's performance to myself. I can hear Randy and his mobile on my log, but I cannot make him out on my transmit antenna.
Well, then, it's getting better then.
It is obviously doing something that it's supposed to.
Oh, my parts and pieces from Mauser was delivered today, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, so now what are you going to make?
I can make an isolation transformer so I can try a bog.
Well, good. We'll finally have a report from somebody who knows what they're doing to see if they really work or not.
Wait a minute. What kind of class are you putting me in here, Ray?
Very, very low.
Oh, my God.
I'm a little disappointed, Ray, with the current crop of experimenters.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. You're 100% right. Hang on, let me put my preamp on. My display's a little dim.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm home in the driveway. I'll be back off the base here in a few minutes. KB2ZVP.
Okay, I got all kinds of interesting things to say. Well, who else is in here? Speak up, all. Speak up. Who? Give me a roll call. Roll call. N1 DVL.
W2KR1.
I've also noticed something else about the log antenna.
What's that?
It's not as good when the ground is wet as it is when the ground is dry.
That probably makes sense. Those things really shouldn't be on the ground. They should be like 5 or 6 feet off the ground.
Oh, I can make that happen.
Yeah, but then some animal will run into it.
The only animals we got down here are the ones that are black and running from the police.
Well, maybe you'll get one around the neck and you'll be a hero.
Don't have to do that. I already am a hero. I already got one in my garden because they tripped over one of my ground radios and they got him.
Beautiful. You're lucky he didn't sue you.
What's he going to sue me for? He's evading capture from the police. He's a one-in criminal. He's trespassing on my property at night, running away from the police, and he trips on my stuff on my property that he doesn't belong on. What's he going to sue me for?
Listen, if he tripped and fell down your well, he would sue you.
Don't have a well. I do have a pool, though.
Well, if he tripped and fell into the pool, he would sue you. I'm going to tell you an absolutely true story. It happened to one of my patrons. This guy lived near my bar, and that was getting to be a real seedy area. And he had like 3 license plates stolen off his car within probably 6 or 8 months. So he got pissed off because every time they steal them, he has to go pay another $45 to get new plates. So anyway, what he does is he gets his new plate and he solders or glues. He glued on some single-edge razor blades all around the plate. And he said it was about a month later, there's a knock at his door, and it's 2 police cars with a Puerto Rican. And they said, this guy wants your name and address. So the guy says, well, what the hell for? He says, because he cut his fingers on your license plate. And an absolutely true story. That just goes to show you what a wonderful country we live in.
I'm sorry he brought you here, but I think we're done here, and I would have closed the door. And you might want to take him to the hospital and get his wounds checked. Yeah, it's getting pretty bad out there. When the homeless people have their own lawyers and they can sue a state and win, you know the world's upside down.
Well, that's because California and Massachusetts and New York and probably Connecticut are such jerk-off states.
Yeah, it's just really getting stupid out there. Well, the new masts on the corners in the concrete are doing very, very well. They're still up. The wire is now at 31 feet on that end, and everything is copacetic.
So let's see, how about 2D? 2D, are you in here?
Oh, guess what opened up today a little bit?
Oh, don't tell me 10 meters or I'm going to personally drive down and slap you.
Well, that was too, but 6 meters came open a little today.
Oh, that is exciting. Who wants to buy a nice 6-meter ramp?
Yeah, but you want too much money for it.
I want $1,000 for it, and it's well worth it.
Tempting. You do realize that you're going to sell that amp, and in about a year from now, 6 meters is going to go wide open, and you're going to kick yourself in the rear end.
You're so wrong, because when DX starts to roll on 6, I get off. I hate DX. I'm a long ground wave person. I just like to talk to people 400, 500 miles away on ground wave.
What are you going to do when we get to the peak of the solar cycle and just about every band is manic with all kinds of wild, crazy people?
I'm going to be right here where it's going to be exactly the same. Maybe I'll drop down one further to the 470 kilohertz band.
An anti-social amateur radio operator.
I don't like DX. Why do I want to talk to somebody that's in Texas or in California? I could care less. I want to talk to my local pals.
Oh, I'm in Pennsylvania. What do you care about me for?
I don't. Go away.
Oh, man. I'm starting to feel like the other frequency. I love my radio.
Whiskey Golf 2 Echo. Good evening.
Yeah, go ahead, Carl. I got to go get some Windex. Every time I try to touch one of these screens, it gets all smudged up. I have no idea why.
Don't touch it with your actual skin. I just tap mine lightly with my fingernail, and it never leaves a mark.
Hold on a minute. Let me try that. Oh, that does work, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be a capacitive screen. It seems to be an actual physical happening there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's put that. Let's test that theory. I've got a small, kind of like a rock here. It's real smooth. It's like a river rock, but it's a decorative rock.
Okay, and?
It works, you're right. It does not have to be you're right, it's a pressure. It's not an actual capacitive touch. All right, let me try a pencil eraser.
That works on mine.
I'm going to try a zip tie. That's plastic.
Hey, you might be interested to know, seeing as how you've been experimenting with bugs and logs and whatnot. I went back to my bog today after trying 2 similar versions of the log, and on both of my logs I could barely hear you, but on the bog you're really good, and the signal to noise is much better, so I think I'm going to stay in bog land for a while.
Oh yeah, I've noticed the same thing on on the different antennas from time to time. It depends on the time of day, the distance the station is, the power of the station is, the conditions at the time, the atmospherics. There's a lot of stuff going on here. That's why I've got 3 of them. I've got two actual beverages. Well, they're not actually beverages because they're not 2 wavelengths long, according to somebody. But anyway, they're linear beverages, and then I've got the log. So between the 3 of them, sometimes the log works best, and then other times the other antennas work better. So it's up in the air on that. You can't just, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but I had the bog going for quite some time before I experimented with the log, and the bog always had an S0 noise level, where both configurations of logs that I used would be hovering around maybe S3 or something like that. So at this point, I kind of think it's better. However, I only have 1 transformer, so if I want to change it back, I got to go out and switch a few wires, and I only got 1 coax coming out. I may toy with putting another coax out there and an AB switch, because that's the trouble, is I can't AB quick enough to really say for sure, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need a switch. Yeah, I built my little relay changeover inside an actual coax switch. And then I added another switch outbound to that so I could go between 3 positions. I really should get a 4-position switch and put it in that, which I may do that this next Hamfest coming up. I'll buy a 4-position switch and then move everything over into that. But for now, yeah, A, B, C, D, you know, click, 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 click. That's kind of the best way to do that. That way you can see right away the differences.
And how much power are you running through the switch? And are 2 radios hooked to the switch at the same time?
What are you talking about?
Well, ask Steve. Steve had a coax switch, and he switched the power from one radio into the other and blew the living hell out of it, and it cost him like $600.
We're on the receive side.
Following along, or are you doing something else and listening here?
I know what I'm talking about because it happened.
Yeah, but what you're talking about and what I'm talking about aren't the same thing.
As long as you got 1 radio hooked to one side of the switch and 4 antennas hooked to the other, that's fine.
And I'm here, KB2ZVP.
Oh, thank God we have an adult in the room. Randy, please. Please.
Hello, Randy.
Hello, Carl. You saw him putting my base together, eh?
Yeah. I got. How do you take a video that you just happen to see and post it on the Toad Harbor? I can't seem to find a way to do that.
You got to save it to your device. Save it to your device, then go on Toad Harbor, and then go to your device, and then click on it and put it on.
Oh, okay, so I just can't share it from one place to another right there on Facebook?
I don't know. I'm not a big Facebook guy. I barely can keep up with what's going on there now. But I know that when I want to do anything, I save it to my device, and then if it's shareable, okay, you can share it. But if you come up across something that's not, you should be able to share it. If it's on Facebook already, and you've seen it or you were connected to it on Facebook, why then that should be shareable. You should be at the bottom. It should say share.
Well, it does, but I can't find any way to get it to Toad Harbor. I can share it with friends. I can share it on my timeline. I can send it as a message like I did to you. But anyway, I thought you might know because you're always putting things like that on there.
You have to tag it. You can tag somebody. You could tag me on Toad Harbor.
Hello? I got up at 5:42 today, and then I went to the bathroom and I peed twice. And then I decided about an hour later I made breakfast, and I used 2 eggs today instead of 1.
He's trying to
come on, guys.
He's trying to be a smart aleck, Carl.
Get a life. Get a freaking life.
Well, 2 eggs are better than 1 in many cases.
But I'm having 3 tonight for my omelet. This is Tuesday night, and on Tuesdays I have an omelet with bacon.
But were they over easy?
No.
Oh, I had fresh asparagus for dinner.
Grits with your eggs?
I never have yolks. Yolks are what's killing everybody.
So what aches and pains are we enduring today there, Ray?
None. Today I did a lot of stuff today. I went and got a new... Oh, you want my Facebook page? Let's see. I got up this morning. I thought about stuff for a while. I had breakfast, made an omelet. Then, let's see. I went to Home Depot, and I picked up a new thing that goes on the side of your house to wrap your hose around. Mine fell apart last year or the year before, and my hose was laying all over. So I got a real nice one, and I screwed that on the wall. And then I bought some 7. Remember the chemical 7 in the sprayer that you hook on your hose, and I sprayed my whole front lawn, really gave it a heavy dose of 7 because the moles are back and the moles are eating the grubs, so you got to kill the grubs. So I gave it a real heavy dose of 7, and then I looked around Home Depot and I found the solder with the silver in it, and I bought myself some silver solder, and then I came home.
What does that have to do with how to post a video to the Toad Harbor group?
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. He was talking about Facebook.
He's a better old man, that's what.
There's people that literally spend all day posting every single thing they did all day on Facebook. You know what those people need? They need a slap. This guy's got to wind up from the floor and come around one and a half turns and slap the person in the head to try to get them back to reality.
Okay, I understand there's people like that, but that's not what we were doing.
He doesn't understand, Carl. He hasn't got the mental capacity to understand what's going on here.
Okay, well, I just wanted to be sure that we don't have the professor thinking that I'm one of those guys that lives on Facebook. It's just a convenient way to communicate with a group of people, and it's fairly benign, and it's not stuff like you were just saying, Ray.
And it's all ham radio related.
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, whatever.
You guys.
He just doesn't get it. What's that, honey?
Ready to eat?
It's ready to eat time. I got to go. KB2ZVP.
Bye. Don't shoot too fast.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. WG2E.
Where's Devin? I have a question for Devin and a question for Bob.
Devin, don't get on until after 9 o'clock.
Haven't heard Bob.
So you're not interested in getting your whole life on Facebook there, Ray?
No, but I think it's absolutely insane. I can't think of anything worse than the way some of these people post. I mean, there's literally people that tell, I went to the bathroom today at 9:05.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. And people that go to a restaurant and take a picture of their food,
Well, like I said, those people are very sick. Okay, hello, whoever that was. I couldn't tell by your voice. Go ahead. Wow, unbelievable. Gary, where have you been? NC3Z, N1DVL.
Are you on Facebook?
Well, I gotta say, Gary, I'm inclined to agree with you. I have brought that up to the head toad several times, and he thinks I'm crazy.
I think he mentioned that.
Unfortunately, I agree with you on this one. How's my signal tonight? You got a real good signal tonight down here in North Carolina.
You're under an S9. Your normal good signal is 10 over 9, and you're a little under an S9 right now, but the sun's still up.
I know, but the band is dead quiet.
You're S9 here, Gary, and then long time no here. WG2E.
How's my signal to everybody else's? I'm running that. I put up that 4-wire antenna again. Oh, hello. I said, how's my signal compare with everybody else, Carl and Mark, because I put up the 4-wire antenna again.
S8?
Hello, Gary. WG2E. Over.
WG2
Norway 3, Radio Mexico Radio. Oh, that's it. I'm out of here.
Must be working, Ray.
Well, we'll have to see later. Gary was always my perfect test for the down. He's the perfect test going south. He's just the right distance.
I am located by the Harrisburg International Airport, South Central Pennsylvania, near Harrisburg. The name's Mark.
Schenectady, New York. Whiskey Golf 2 Echo. Carl.
I'm actually running 5 watts.
Yeah, right. Well, wait till Randy comes back. We'll see how he does. He's the big toad, so we'll see how he works going down to you.
I don't even think you could hear me with 5 watts, Ray.
I could hear you with any watts.
I don't know.
He's not running 5. He's full of crap.
Okay, here's about 60 watts. This is 60 watts.
I can still hear you with no problem.
Yep, I can hear you in North Carolina with 60 watts.
Me too.
Down to audio. There is 25 watts.
No sweat. Go down to 10.
I'm working on it. Just slow down there, Ray. You're in a big hurry tonight. I don't know what chemical you're on, but you need to think less of it. Now we're down to 7 watts.
I'm still hearing you on 7 watts.
Yep, I hear you in North Carolina on 7 watts.
I'm not hearing you now.
Yeah, I could hear 7.
Yeah, I heard you say 1 watt, I think, 1 watt, but you're buried in the noise.
So that is about 5 watts. There is 5 watts from Harrisburg.
Yeah, 5 watts will make it. That's I can hear you.
All right. Let's go back to the regular power. There we go.
Yes. No, I'm getting buckshot from way up the band. Some guys talk there on AM, and they have a real splattering mess.
Yeah, I heard those cameras are really bad about that. Their RTR is pretty crappy. A lot of reports.
It's the #1 radio tested, period.
Never had buckshot then.
Because the guy's running an old AM transmitter, and he's just not doing it right.
Look, it's exactly what Ray said it was because he said so, okay?
You've been hearing the reports about that FTVS 101 and the overshoot that it has?
Yeah, I heard about that. That's not good, but I'm sure they're going to repair it. I guess they're already working on it.
Yeah, that's not good. 180 watts of overshoot when you set for 30 watts. Some amplifiers may have a problem.
Yeah, I would say any solid-state amp would have a problem with that.
Holy crap.
I'm sure which testing. I think it's the second radio he has now that has the problem.
Well, listen, I can assure you, I've given this a lot of thought, and I would never, ever buy one of those radios. The only radio that I would buy now of the high-end radios is this 890. It's a great radio.
ICOM is now advertising the 7610 with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Randy knew a guy that just bought one on another band, and Randy tried to talk him out of it, and the guy says, no, they're fine, you're wrong. He bought it. It lasted one day, and not only did two things go bad, the screen went out completely from what I understand, and the receiver stopped working, and this happened in like 2 days.
How long ago?
About a week ago. Listen, everybody gets pissed at me when I say this. If you look at the radio and you use the radio, it is a really nice radio. It really is. I like the way it looks and works and all that. But other than that, it's a pile of junk, and that's the word I use, pile of junk. And it makes people angry. But the facts are that they're actually getting worse rather than getting better. And the other thing I really, really do not like about it, I do not like a touchscreen radio. Thank God this Kenwood doesn't require the touch the screen. The only time you ever have to touch the screen is if you want to change the S meter. But other than that, you don't have to touch the screen. And matter of fact, it's got one button. They call it a PFA button, and you can configure that button to change any 3 parameters on the radio from that one button. So technically I could set it up so that would change the S meter. Yeah, that would work. But you do not have to touch the screen on this radio at all. I mean, you know I had 2 7610s, right? Correct, and they both happened within 30 days. That was the last of that I will ever, I will never ever own another 7610 ever, because they obviously just can't fix them. There's just something, they just screwed up something. They did something horribly wrong when they started building that radio. Well, that's what they did with me. It's actually what they did with me with both radios, because when I switched finally to the Kenwood 2 months later, I didn't have to pay 1 cent, just the extra for the Kenwood. And so far, no problems at all with the Kenwood.
Ted. It's a superhead, so they shouldn't have been able to screw it up too bad.
Yeah, but there's nothing else wrong with it either. It just seems like a pretty... They always had, like the 990s and all the Kenwoods just seemed to always do pretty good. They didn't really have much of a breakage problem. Did somebody else come in there? Go ahead.
I think Kenwood tried to stay with tried and true technology. I mean, they have moved forward in some advances, but they didn't go way out on the end on a limb like that. They stayed with stuff that worked pretty reliably.
Right. Well, obviously Yaesu did too. Did you read anything more about the cure, Gary, for the overshoot? Because somebody was saying that they're already working on the cure, or they know how to cure it.
Well, according to stuff I was reading from Sherwood, it's in the actual PA. It's not the SDR part. It's in the hardware amplifier itself. So it's going to require a hardware mod, most likely.
Oh yeah, that'd be, well, hey. Like I said, I'm very happy with the Kenwood. It's the radio I recommend. I recommend 2 radios, a 7300 or an 890, one and or the other.
The 7300 is nice. That's my tertiary radio. But I like my other 2 radios. They're still doing well.
Well, you don't use the 7610 much, so how can it go bad?
Oh, no, I traded that off a little while ago. I had somebody make me an offer on it, so I couldn't turn it down.
Okay, so what's your backup radios now? 7300, what's the other one?
The other
Boy, you love to torture yourself, don't you? A flex and an on. Wow, that's about the ultimate in torture.
Oh, an on sounds fabulous.
I've got the flex sounding, not quite as good as the Yanon, but I've got it up there, sounding better than the ICOM, and getting close to the Yanon, but not quite as good as the Yanon. So I get very, very good audio reports on it.
Yeah, you and Jeff really sound good on those radios. You really sound great.
Gary, what is your QTH?
North Carolina.
Oh, okay. No, very good. Thank you. I thought that's where you were, but I just didn't remember.
And you didn't have to ask the question twice because I heard you overwrite.
Oh, well, I'm closer, so, you know.
That's because he finally used a copper antenna instead of a steel antenna.
It's because I get the antenna pointing towards him and not towards you right now, so he's about 30 degrees off of your heading. And it's actually pointing his direction.
What do you think of that, Ray? He's got a Yagi.
Yeah, he's got a what? How many elements is that antenna, Gary? 4?
It'll do 8 discrete directions.
But how many elements?
It's got 4 loops on it.
Yeah, I want that 8-circle array. That's my dream antenna. Can call up a pro company, have them come put that in for you. That'd be the way to go.
8-circle array.
They do make it. Having a directional steerable receive antenna like this, or the vertical arrays, I mean, it really is a vast difference from using a gold transmit antenna on receive.
Yeah, but the 8-circle array would be 8 full-size towers, and it would have the front-to-back ratio and rejection probably way better than what you got, because they show a picture of it in that antenna physics book, and it's got about the same pattern as a 6-element beam, and it's got 8.23 dBd of gain, so that's a pretty healthy antenna.
Yeah, pricey too. At least this wasn't expensive, and I can use it on bands all into 20. The phased array verticals are single-band antennas.
I don't know about that. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think you'd probably be able to use them. They may not work as good on other bands, but I'm pretty sure you could use them on the other bands.
You can use it, but you're not going to get any. Yeah, it's not going to work well. It will work, but not well.
Well, I think it'd work as good as a regular vertical, but probably won't work like it should on 160. But who cares? The only band you really need it on is 160.
I use it on 80 a lot too. Works very, very well on 80 and 40.
Do you have but do you have well, you just have an 80 and 40 element. I mean, a 160 and an 80 element on your vertical, right?
No, and a 40.
And the 40. Okay.
I took the 40 down just this past week, and I got some parts, and I told you I'm making this antenna better. I'm going to slightly increase the performance of this transmit antenna.
Well, it's about time.
What is the transmit antenna?
It's a quarter wave inverted L. It's actually 3 inverted L's on a common feed point. No, actually, it's 3 vertical wires on a common feed point.
Okay.
I don't know how well you guys are hearing me, so the proof's in the pudding on how well my signal's getting out.
You are a good solid 9 on my log antenna, and the noise floor is 1.
Man, how does that compare to other signals this far away?
Right now, you're doing very, very well. For this time of the day from where you are, yeah, there's no problem. You're doing very, very well.
Well, I'm gonna work on this and tweak it, make it a little bit better.
Gonna go to 3/8 wave.
How many radials?
Oh, I've got the flexibility to do that.
How many radials?
32.
Okay.
Well, if you go to 3/8 wave, then your 32 will act like 100.
No, Ray, that's not how it works.
It is how it works. When you go to a 3/8 wave antenna, the ground system becomes much more effective, or you don't need much of a ground system.
Ray, I already told you how to make the world's best compromised vertical antenna in the world. You don't remember it, do you?
No, because probably was ignoring you.
No, you said you'd look it up and check it out, but you probably ignored me.
So, Gary, did you watch that thing on the History Channel?
What, Project Blue Book?
No, not Project Blue Book, the new one there, where they said geez, where you been? You missed it? That one of the big government guys, U.S. government, I don't know, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Navy, or some guy was on Fox. And this was about a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, and he said that flying saucers are real, and the government has been studying them for quite some time now. I mean, currently they're still studying the problem, and that they've been really, really getting buzzed a lot from these flying saucers. With the military has been going, like sort of toe-to-toe with them almost on a daily basis in the last couple of years. And there was going to be a thing on the History Channel about it, and it was on. It was on last Friday.
Yeah, how do you know I'm not watching that?
Well, I would think you are watching it. It's on again tonight. It's on tonight at 11 o'clock. See, the thing is, it's not if you watch it or not, Gary. It's if you believe it. Of course, personal friend. I have a piece of his that super light stuff. What's it called? No. That stuff he makes that you can heat it glowing red hot and pick it up with your fingers. What's that stuff called? No, it's that stuff. It's super light. It's almost like air, but it's almost like an opaque solid. You can see right through it. That's what Bob Lazar's. That's what he does. That's how he makes a living.
Aerogel.
Aerogel, thank you.
It's the lightest solid substance on Earth.
Yeah, aerogel. Bob Lazar makes aerogel.
Oh, yeah, shit on his eBay site.
See? And everybody said he was crazy.
Well, he is.
No, he's not. He was telling the truth back in 88 about unpentium, and everybody said he was nuts, but it actually exists.
Yeah, but nobody was ready to receive that kind of information back then. I mean, come on, it wasn't cool.
I believed it all along, and it turns out, and everybody's going to pay for this, because all these great smart people who never believed and thought I was crazy, and there are no such thing as flying saucers. When it's 100% out there, 100%, and they can't get away with it anymore, they're going to pay.
Yeah, but he was smart and crazy, Ray. You're just crazy.
Have you tried aerogel on your car as a wax?
No, why did they make aerogel wax?
And also, it's like Rain-X. It's like a version of Rain-X. You never have to use your windshield wiper again.
What's it called?
Oh, let me get back to it. I think it's on Amazon, too.
Well, they're not going to sell a lot of that product because you only need to buy it once.
I'm getting a call. I have to ignore it.
10-3 or more.
N1
WG2E.
Delta Victor Lima. Well, you never told me whether you watched it or not, Gary.
with a bunch of things to watch while I'm doing my workout, so I haven't got to it yet.
Well,
A couple of sci-fi movies on Amazon Prime. So I go back and forth.
well, it's on tonight. It's on tonight at 11 o'clock. So if you want to watch it, you can watch it. It was pretty good. It shows all the videos from the airplanes where the Air Force pilots are chasing the saucers.
I've got queued up for tonight as a good other history nuts on. Maybe that's on the Science Channel, but it's a special called The 24 Hours After Hiroshima.
Oh, yeah? What time?
It came on. It started now, or it comes on at 9. I can't remember. I just click the buttons to record these. The other one is the weeks after Hitler was killed and what went on in Germany for the few weeks afterwards.
I think the Russians got lucky.
I think the Russians had him.
The Russians had him? Well, that's not what they say. That skull that the Russians have with the bullet hole in it, that is not Hitler.
I thought he went to Venezuela.
I would kind of guess that he did.
Bolivia.
Yeah, one of them rat hole countries down there, yeah.
What was the name of that show there that was on the History Channel about the saucers? What was it called?
Project Blue Book?
No, God, no. Russ, what was the name of that show?
I don't watch it.
Well, somebody go look right now on the History Channel at 11 o'clock tonight. And that's the name of the show. That's the one you got to watch, Gary. That's the real story. That's the government itself coming forward and admitting that saucers are real.
Unidentified, Inside America's UFO Investigation.
Thank you. That's it. Unidentified. That's the name of it.
The same crap we've seen on all the other programs.
KC1RS.
Hello, Russ.
Hey, Russ.
Hey, Gary. Good to hear you on. The band's not working that good, but in a little bit it will be, but still got a good signal from you.
Okay. You didn't tell me that they got nuttier up here.
I've been saying it all along, but nobody believes me.
Never a dull moment here. Never a dull moment. I can't believe how quiet it is.
My noise floor is actually below negative 135. It's pretty quiet.
Yeah, it's like wintertime quiet.
Well, that's good. Don't complain.
So I wonder what Randy had for din tonight.
He said an omelet.
I see your girl's still doing okay in the polls there, Ray.
Oh, please, don't tell me you're talking about Hiawatha.
Yeah, you're a senator.
Yeah, what's she doing, about 2%?
I think a little bit lower than that.
Those people they just can't ever just throw in the towel. There's one of them there, the mayor of New York. He's at 0%.
He should be a negative number, sir. I think more people hate him than even know who he is.
He's from a UFO.
That I could easily believe. He is one sick dude. I mean, everybody hates him. His own cops hate him.
How did he even get in that position?
Yeah, I know. I mean, everybody hates him. I don't know. I don't know. It's just the voters of New York are just the most low-life form of people on the planet Earth. They'll just vote for any scumbag that's out there.
He got in there because the guy that they had ordained to be the mayor, Anthony Weiner, was sexting and text messaging a 15-year-old and got caught.
He was doing a lot worse than that.
And that's the best replacement they could find for somebody who's a pedophile?
It's the Democrats. They, when you're talking about the best of them, you're already scraping the bottom of the barrel.
That is because the best person, there's 22 people running for president from the Democratic side, and the best one of them can't even hold a candle to the worst Republican that ran when Trump ran. And that's absolutely true.
Oh, that's pathetic.
They are one sorry, sorry, sorry group of people. Well, look at it this way. Biden is way, way out in front. That should tell you everything you need to know. I mean, even Bernie's getting kicked to the back of the bus. Nobody even likes Bernie because Bernie's a fool, and Biden is my God. I mean, really, on a scale of 1 to 10, Biden's a 2, and Bernie can't even beat him.
Is it even possible anymore to have anybody in political leadership in this country that isn't over the age of 75 or 80?
Well, if you watch the Democrats, the younger Democratic guys running, they're in their 40s, and they say the dumbest stuff that some of the stuff they say is so dumb that it's just hard to believe.
Well, they're trying to appeal to their base, and their base is a bunch of purple-haired weirdos that are being indoctrinated to be good communists in the future. So I don't know how any of them have a snowball's chance once you get out of New York or Los Angeles.
I'll tell you what. On the last election, when Trump won, he would have had a much harder time with Bernie than he had with Hillary.
Well, we have our state GOP convention this weekend, but fortunately I will be missing it. My wife's going to go, but I'm not going to be able to make it.
Why? What do you got that's so important?
I've got my water search and rescue training this weekend.
Do you go out with your own boat?
No, we go out in other county boats, but,
What are you searching for?
Well, it's a couple-day course, certification, including water or swim qualifications and stuff, but no, we have a 200-pound sinkable mannequin that's designed for the training and recovery.
Wow, and how deep do you have to dive down to get it?
I don't know yet. Over your head, because you have to get it out of the water, and it's deep enough where you can't touch bottom to help lift it out.
Yeah, I'm too old to be doing that stuff now. Well, hey, what can I tell you? I just throw the grappling hook down there.
Yeah, that's one option, C3Z, but we got swim, and one of the swim calls, you got to tread water for 10 minutes, you got to swim 200 yards, I think in under 8 minutes, and you got to swim 100 yards, I think that's in 12 minutes, so that's with a PFD on and your gear, including your helmet.
So that treading for 10 minutes is you're not burdened, right?
Correct, that's strip down, but the last 2 minutes of that are treading with your hands above your head. I'm going to do something to keep me busy since I retired, so I've been doing all this stuff.
Yeah, well, it's better than those old ASR cert tests where they used to make people to swim underwater for like 200 feet.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a diver or anything. This is just to be able to be on a search and rescue team, to get on the boat, you have to go through this qualification just to be on the boat.
What kind of boat is it?
Oh, it's like a flat bottom skiff, I think. It's outrigged with the side scanning sonar and all that stuff. It's a state boat, and it's got all the underwater sonar for searching for bodies and stuff.
Where's your partner in crime tonight?
Who?
Jeff, of course.
It's still a little bit early. We usually don't get on until like 8:30, and I'm down 18:55. 8:30 or 9.
Oh, okay.
The band's been somewhat noisy the past couple. Well, he's had lots of storms up there. We've had very little. In May, we had only 1 inch of rain the entire month of May.
So is that your new improved antenna, a 3/8 wave?
No, I'm still on the old antenna right now. I've just got today the steel pipe. I had to get a 2-inch diameter, thick quarter-inch wall steel, 80 psi strength steel pipe. That's going to be my base. I'm going to concrete into the ground. But I just got that today.
And how tall is that?
Well, that's only 4 feet. That's going to be what's going to get concrete into the ground. And the fold-over mechanism, the fold-over mount will mount to that, and then the 65-foot vertical will then bolt to that fold-over.
So the 65-foot vertical is going to be made out of what, aluminum?
Yeah, starting at 2.5 inches at the bottom and tapering up to 1.375 in the top piece.
And it's only 60 feet, though.
Correct.
Are those sections going to be welded together?
No, they'll have the conductive grease and they'll be bolted with quarter-inch bolts.
Yeah, okay. That's probably good enough.
And then the wire tail at the top will come off as the L at that point.
Yeah, but are you going to make it 3/8 of a wave? I mean, you're crazy not to make it 3/8 of a wave.
Well, whatever the tail, I can make the tail to make it right at a quarter wave or 3/8. That's the beauty of it. Flexibility to do that is super simple.
Well, I understand that, but I'm telling you right now, you're better with 3/8 of a wave. Did you read the article by Joe Reisert in a couple months ago, QFT? He won the second place antenna, best antenna on the 3/8 wave.
What is it, W1RT?
No, that's not his call. I can't think of it right now, but Joe Reisert, God, he's writing articles for 25, 30 years. Anyway, I would like to see a 3/8 wave vertical. Either, like if you're going to do what you're going to do, make it 100 feet tall, and then to get it to 3/8, it's going to be 196 feet, and have 4 wire off the top, just 4 wires, not 2, but 4, to make it 3/8 of a wave. And I think that would probably be the best all-around antenna for this band.
It's W1JR. W1JR, W1DIG.
Oh, isn't that what I said?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I said W1RT. Okay.
Roger.
And, sir, would you like to give your ID?
I just did.
Are you sure?
I'll do it again. W1DIG. You dig me?
I dig you, Lou.
Hi, Ray.
Hello.
Neighbor. You're a neighbor, Ray.
Why, you move closer?
Nah, Connecticut's right there.
Oh, okay.
It's up the road. Just up the road, Ray.
I'm going to go downstairs. Lou, you going to go downstairs, too?
Yeah, downstairs. Roger that. W1DIG. QSY.
Hey, Gary, come back later on in an hour, a half hour, 3/4 of an hour, when Randy's in here. I want to get a signal report down to you.
Okie dokie. Talk to you in a bit. MC3Z.
Okay, see you then. N1 DVL. Okay, I'm back, Toadies. Let's go. Let's have a roll call. Let's see who's here. N1, DVL.
Kilo Charlie 1, Romeo Sierra.
Well, I guess we're going to have to talk to each other. So are you still trying to pick up an ICOM?
You haven't heard back my buddy yet. I think he might have gotten hot water when he helped me get that 7300 for next to nothing.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, if you could get that radio really, really cheap, and I mean really cheap, like, $4 or $5 grand, I'd say, yeah, go for it. But I'll just buy the damn 890. The 890 is just as good. This is a fantastic radio. It is just fantastic.
I kind of like the notion of having two receivers, though.
I had 2 receivers in the 7610, and it was pretty much useless. You know, you really have to have 2 antennas to have 2. You know what I mean? You really need separate antennas for 2 receivers, and then if you're back in, then you're gonna, you'd need like, for instance, you'd have a loop and a vertical. That would probably work. But if you have 2 loops or 2 verticals or 2 this or 2 that, you get into all kinds of other issues. Like I said, I had 2 receivers, and in all honesty, I had to literally force myself to use it, and it's just something you don't really need.
Well, I put a experimental 50-foot vertical up. It's pretty far away from the dipole. And it didn't have any effect on it. And I don't think it ruined my signal or anything. They don't seem to interact at all.
Well, if one antenna was horizontal and the other one's was vertical, they're probably not too bad, because you got at least about 20 dB split there. I read this very, very good article in QST 2 or 3 months ago, and it was by a very young girl. I'm sure her father must have helped her with it, but she's only like 15, 16 years old, and she did a very nice test on vertical. How much attenuation did you get between the dual polarity antennas? One vertical, one horizontal. And it's way, way, way more than 20 dB. If you align the antennas absolutely perfect and you just play with them and they're set up properly, you got about 45 dB between the 2 antennas. And in theory, it's basically infinite.
Yeah, but that's in like free space. But there's, you're in the real world. You got a lot of stuff reflecting signals around in unexpected ways.
Agreed. But I think if you had end mount antennas like I had on 2, and the other ones were done the same way, and they were horizontal, and they were 100 feet above the ground, and you didn't have a lot of trees around, you'd probably get 30 or 40 dB. It's possible. All I'm saying, it's possible to get that much. So there is a lot. So if you had a vertical antenna out in your yard, stretched out between 2 towers, and then a horizontal dipole, we'll say, and then you had a vertical somewhere else, especially off the ends, there probably would be very little interaction. But if you've got 2 dipoles, you're just going to have a ton of interaction. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I had a fairly low-mounted 40-meter antenna, and that one end of it got pretty close to my tower, and whenever my beam, and I had a classic 33, so that thing had a big turning radius, right? Even though it was way above the wire antenna, when I had that beam set in a certain direction, it would throw the SWR off on that 40 meter every time.
Right. Well, there it is. There's your interaction. And I was just going to say something, and my old age got caught up with me, and I forgot what the hell I was going to say. It was something to do with antennas. Yesterday morning, I think it was yesterday morning, about 7 in the morning, I had a brilliant idea. The goniometer thing I've been talking about all along?
Is that the vertical with the bend over tops?
No. A goniometer is like a transformer, and you put 2 loops in your backyard. Let's say you put 1 loop here, and maybe you separate them by a quarter wavelength, and you put another loop over there, and you hook the 2 feed lines together on this variable transformer called a goniometer, or however the hell you pronounce it. And you can steer, you can basically steer the 2 loops through 360 degrees. You can change the phase on the feed line, and you can get a directional pattern. And that's how they find, they use, the directional patterns on the DF stuff. Now, my brilliant idea was I got to get my hands on one of those devices because I'm running the dipoles here, and all I have to do is run one feed line on one feed line the other, hook them to the goniometer, and I'd have a steerable antenna here on 160.
Boy, they'd have to be awful big, or else you would be loading up a pretty big tank circuit inside those things.
I don't know. Never saw one. Never saw an explanation of one, but we gotta figure it out because that'd be the hot setup with the way my antennas are here. I think that would work really very well. I'd have directivity and I'd have rejection, and I think it would be kind of neat.
Yeah, you'd have to look in to see what the government. I'm sure that the government has had to have something along those lines, but obviously not going to. They may or may not work on 160, but if they worked on the maritime frequencies, there's a possibility they could be modified.
Well, somebody found one on a military ship, and it had like either 4 or 6 ports. So I'm assuming they use 6 antennas, and they steer them, and they get a very directional pattern.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not going to be much different. I don't suppose they do much different than those Foursquare systems. They just, if you're transmitting with them, though, you got to have a really, really big, beefed up phasing unit.
Right. Well, the thing is, I don't know, on the Foursquare, is it totally adjustable, or do you just have like A, B, and C or something? 3 different directions. With the adjustable transformer, I guess you can get like 360.
Yeah, they're. I think you need a minimum of 4 of them, and then to steer them, you're phasing. You can phase 1 against the other 3 or 2 against the other 2, that sort of stuff, and you got any number of combinations. So I guess whatever works, but. I never really played around with any of the verticals. I've played with a 2-wire. I played with a 2-wire steerable wave antenna that was 60 feet long. It was 30 feet on each side, and it was shaped like a V. And that used 450 ohm ladder line as the element. So, man, that's some complicated stuff to get into, and it was just receive only.
Well, it just seems like it would work really good on this band. Boy, it is quiet tonight. I've only got an S4 noise level. That's quieter than the winter.
Yeah, mine's, I got my AGC on medium, but I bet you if I turn my AGC on fast, I'd probably only have about an S7, which is pretty low for here. Yeah, my receive antenna is only an S3, and this one's doing about an S8.
Oh, I got an S4 noise level right now, which is lower than even in the winter. I'm reading this book called Star Trek Memories, and it's written by William Shatner and another guy, and it's all about how they made the show and how they cast people and who they picked and why and how the sets were made. It is incredibly fascinating. It's just incredible. They just made those sets up from nothing. They just had guys that have that ability. Here's the script, read it. Okay, we need this. Okay, we'll make it. And they just throw it together out of just junk. They said literally they would go through all the trash cans in the studio, and they'd find stuff in the trash cans they could use on Star Trek.
It's funny. I was searching around for surplus electronics, and I ran into this site in the Los Angeles area, and they have the usual stuff. Lots of pooled equipment, motors, lots of wire and stuff. But they had an interesting thing there. They had electronics from movie sets, and the pictures of it, a lot of that looked like the kind of consoles you'd see from like science fiction movies. It was pretty wild that stuff's actually out there for sale.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It'd be great to get something off of the original Star Trek. That'd be really cool. Because literally, they made everything from just junk, and yet it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I think that because it's a huge fan base, I think most of that stuff's been hoovered up by people. There's not a whole lot of brand new, freshly discovered memorabilia anymore. Everything's been accounted for quite some time. I mean, that show's been off the air for a long time, and it's just been, the popularity's just never waned. Ever since I was a kid, it's always been a favorite show of mine.
Yep, they were all good. Anyway, I went to, I don't know if you were in here when I said this earlier, I went to Home Depot tonight to pick up a few things, and I picked up a roll of that silver solder. They actually had it.
Yeah, that's where I got mine. I don't know what the heck I was doing. I was looking for something. I wasn't looking for solder, and I looked up, and boom, there it was. It said silver solder, so I grabbed the roll of it. I was like, wow. At Home Depot, who would have thought? But now a goodly bit of all the solder nowadays is lead-free, and of course they use silver for the high temp stuff, so it worked out.
Yeah, it was $8 for 3 ounces, but that's a lot of solder, and it's a little 062. I have 031. 031's a real pain. You got to fold it over 4 times. The 062 is much better. Well, at least I know where I can get it now.
D3WL. Good evening, everyone.
Is your noise level really low tonight, Jeff? Because mine's really low, lower than the winter.
Actually, mine's a little higher than usual tonight. We've got some storms coming up on the west side of the Great Lakes here, so that's given me some grief.
Yeah, it's incredible. I got an S4 noise level.
I'm up around S7, S8, and I'm usually around 4 or 5.
I'm going to go grab a glass of water. I'll be back.
Who was it, Victor Echo 3?
Yeah, V3WL.
VE3WL. This is Whiskey 3 Hotel November. How copy?
Oh, very good. We've spoken before.
Yeah, I'm using my 40-meter rhombic. How do I sound?
Oh, you sound fine. You're about 5 over 9 here. I'm just north of the city of Toronto.
Roger, Roger. I'm receiving you on my log antenna, which is about 2 inches underground, over.
How large is it?
30 feet on the side.
That's a good size. Yeah, that should be a nice low noise antenna.
Yeah, I feed it with a 4-to-1 Ballon and coax. Not using isolation transformer like the other guys.
Well, theoretically, you're supposed to use isolation, but to each his own.
Why does it have to be isolated?
Well, it works better because you're not grounding one side of it, and you'll get common mode problem.
Not grounding one side. How am I grounding one side?
Well, if you take a standard 4-to-1 Ballon and put a continuity tester across it, you'll find out what I'm talking about.
Where do I put my ohm meter?
Across any of the terminals. It'll show, like if you do center to either side of the terminals on the antenna side, you'll find a short, a DC short.
So how come I can transmit on it then?
Because RF doesn't work like DC.
Roger. You want to see if you can copy me on my underground antenna?
What, you're going to try and transmit on it?
Sure, 4-to-1 transmission Ballon and 4-to-1 match.
Well, as long as you don't damage anything and there's low SWR, sure, try it.
Okay, how do you copy me? Can you copy me on this? I guess you didn't copy me, right?
No, I did not.
I heard you, Tim. You're way down, but I heard you.
Yeah, how strong was I?
Well, I've got S8 of noise, so you were making in and over the noise, so it's probably about an S9.
Yeah, you probably got a whole bunch of worms that are all warmed up now. KA1LH, is that?
Yeah, the antenna's about 2 inches underground, over. And I'm running about 300 watts to it. But it's a 1-to-1 match.
Hey, Tim, where are you connecting up to that? Are you connecting up in the middle of one of those legs, or are you in a corner?
I'm right in the corner, like the way you're supposed to put the logs onto, and I do get a null direction to the west, over. I can also transmit on my 500-foot beverage, too.
Well, that might come in handy someday.
Well, the 1-to-1 beverage fires west, so then now I've got all my directions. Where the null is on the log, I got the beverage listens in that direction.
So now, is that terminated with a resistor on one end?
No, negative.
All right, I was going to say, I would imagine if it was, you'd have to use the same rules as with the T2FD, right?
Roger, Roger. I'm going to build a receiving loop because I've got 3 switches on my listening antenna, so I'm going to build a loop 8 feet across and, I don't know, maybe 100 feet of wire or so. I don't know how much wire. I'm trying to look that up. Anybody got an idea how much wire I should use on the receiving loop?
Sorry, what was that?
How much wire I need on the receiving loop?
On the one you have now, or a different?
One that I'm going to make. I've already figured out the diameter. It's going to be 8 feet.
Are you talking about a coax receiving loop?
No, just a wire loop. Haven't you seen those in the handbook?
I've seen the coax ones where you feed them with a capacitor and tune them, but not the one you're talking about.
No, you just wind a bunch of wire around the loop. It's called a receiving loop.
Oh, Yeah. You're going to make it round, huh? Because I've worked with. I've got a 2 foot. I got a loop that's 2 foot on a side, so it's a little over 2 feet across. I can get on count the wire, the amount of turns on it if you want.
Oh, you're talking about a multi-turn loop like they used to use with the AM broadcast receiving antennas.
Roger. And do you just put a capacitor across the input?
Yeah, and then you tune it.
Yeah, you can just put like a cap out of a AM broadcast receiver.
Yeah, like a small air variable.
Yeah, usually 365, or if it's a 2-gang, you can get a lot of them you can get over 600 PF, and so you don't have to use as much wire, or you can go lower in frequency, whichever way. But if you want, Tim, I can get down there and count the amount of turns.
No, I'm going to use an 8-foot loop here because the pole that I got is 8 feet, and it's not going to be circular. It'll be a square loop over it. I'm going to try 100 feet of wire. You think that'd work?
Well, you're not going to get very many windings with 100 feet of wire if it's 8 foot square, right? You're talking, you're only going to get like 3 windings on that.
Yeah, that's good. 8 feet. You know, I'm going to have a quarter wave for a 160.
KB2ZVP, I have returned.
Good evening, Randy.
Hey, Jeff.
How was your day?
I had a good day today. How about you?
Well, can't complain for a Tuesday.
All my stuff came from Mauser, so buddy, we're going to be rich. We are just, these things are so nice, and when I get done wrapping these things, that's it. Where do you want to go?
Oh, anywhere. Toad Harbor would be good to start with.
Well, the money I'll make with these things, I reckon that's about where I'll be able to go.
Yeah, I looked. I have an account with DigiKey, and I looked up, and I can get exactly the same stuff from DigiKey Canada, so I can get it on this side. It's not. I'm surprised how cheap the stuff is.
$5 a piece, I think, is what the guy said, and that's about probably what they cost.
And I have a roll of like 20. I think it's 20 gauge enameled wire here, so I'm all good there.
Yep, I got a roll of 20 gauge and also 24 magnetic wire, so we're all good.
I've got to have wire that I can transmit on.
Well, you don't have to transmit on everything you own.
I do have to. That's the way I tune my antennas. When I get a low SWR, I know they're tuned.
Well, you can transmit on 20 gauge wire.
Yeah, but is the insulation good enough?
Not wrapped up in a toroid core or something like that. No, probably not.
I've got a T200 core. I think I can make a nice 4-to-1 balun with that.
You've got a nice 4-to-1 balun.
Yeah. I had some Teflon wire around here. Of course, you can't find anything in my shack. I might have to order some.
Well, the other thing is that SWR is not the be-all, end-all of a receiving antenna. So, yeah, you actually can, in some cases, by making it low SWR, make it perform not as it should be.
Yeah, I can imagine that. But then I can transmit on it. Of course, nobody can hear me. But maybe that's good.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Russ.
How you doing this evening?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I got a little piece of info from Tim there. He built an antenna, and it has a pretty strong null to the west. Don't you live like due west of him?
Just about, yeah.
So I guess you're tearing him up pretty bad with that signal. He's got to design an antenna especially to reject you.
Well, let's see what you look like, Tim. I wasn't watching the meter.
No, it's for my receive. I can't receive you on my log antenna because there's a null there.
Oh, there's a null there. Okay, I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. So, okay. Well, I hope you can hear me. I mean, if you can't, that's okay.
So I'll tell you what you are. You're S9. You're S9 on the log, and you're on the listening antenna. You're 30/9, and on the transmitting antenna, you're 40/9.
So you got three antennas. There's a listening antenna. I'm not sure what that is. And you got the log, which is just laying on the ground, and then you got the other antenna, right? The transmitting antenna, the 40, whatever that thing is you're using now. Are you on the loop now, or the 40 meter whatever?
Rhombic. You can say rhombic.
Rhombic. The 40 meter rhombic.
The listening antenna is a 500-foot stainless steel wire. About 8 feet above ground. The log is about 2 inches underground over.
You went out with the old axe and put it under the ground?
I finally got it under the ground, Roger, and I didn't have any earth to bury it, so I used a compost.
But why do you want it under the ground?
I don't know. Why do you want it above ground?
Well, I would just lay it on the ground and not worry about it. Let the ground take it over. Why go through the extra work to bury the antenna?
Well, I wanted to see. It's called experimentation. See if it made it any quieter or louder or what it would do.
Well, what's the experiment? How did it come out?
Didn't change it a bit.
Oh, there's so many things I want to say right now.
Yeah, but at least the deer won't eat it, unless, of course, they want to dig it up.
But they heard me. They heard me when I transmitted on my underground antenna. That's another thing.
Yeah, I got him with an S9 down here from underground, Randy. Ain't no lie.
It's under compost, not underground, under compost.
You know what compost is made out of? A lot of horse manure.
That's right. Your signal stinks, Tim.
I had a stinky signal. I'm trying to build a receiving loop. I'm going to try 100 feet of wire around an 8-foot what am I calling it? I got two 8-foot pieces. I'm going to line loops around that thing. 8-foot diagonal.
You know, who is it? Jeff, NJ2US has one of those receiving loops that are the small ones, the magnetic receiving loops, and he said that does not work as well as his beverages, but it works better than the beverages on lightning crashes. He said it really works. I think he said remarkably well on lightning crashes. This is going back. I forget which one he has, the MFJ or something. That may be an idea, too, for some of us to try.
That's like a 2-foot receiving loop?
What is that, Jeff? Is it like 3 or 4 feet, isn't it?
Sorry, what was that? I was doing something else.
Do you remember the receiving loop that Jeff NJ2US is using or has? Also, he bought. I'm not even sure if he still owns it, but he had that receiving loop. I think it was from MFJ. It's like, what is it, 36 inches or something?
Yeah, it's MFJ 1866 or something like that. It's like a 30-inch receiving loop with a little preamp in it.
30-inch diameter?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, the little preamp in it, yeah.
30-inch diameter?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember the exact specs.
Somebody was just on here. Who was that had the 2-foot receiving loop, just was going to count the turns in it?
That's Russ.
Russ, are you there? Yeah, he was going to count the turns, but my loop is going to be 8 feet.
KA1LH. Hello, Stephen.
Hey there. We're just sitting here listening. I got a loop that I made. It's a hexagon
gone. I made for 1,750 meters. Haven't built the preamp for it yet.
Yeah, how big is it? What's the diameter?
40 feet in circumference, and it's got 11 turns, so 440 feet of number, I think it's 22 gauge wire inside.
Yeah, I missed the diameter. Did you tell me?
It's 40 feet, 40 feet in circumference.
Okay, and the circumference is what, pi d? So divide 40 by pi, and what do you get?
I don't have a calculator. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I do. Stand by.
You can't divide 3 into 40 in your head?
Around 11.
Right, around 11 feet. So mine is going to be 8 feet. So how many turns have you got on it?
11 turns inside, so it's 440 feet.
Roger, roger. So I was going to try 100 feet for this band.
Where did the 100 feet come from? Like about a quarter wave?
Yeah, it'd be a quarter wave. I just have a 100-foot piece of wire laying around, that's all. And do you tune that thing with just a cap across it?
You better go. It's not tuned yet. I have to. I want to build a preamp and a bandpass filter for it. It's actually made for 1,750 meters.
Yeah, but how do you tune it to resonant? That's what I'm asking.
I haven't done it yet.
You don't know how to do it yet. I'm thinking you just put a cap across, just from one side to the other, over.
Are you making a loop?
Receiving loop.
A phasing loop? With
No,
100
receiving.
foot?
Anyway, carry on.
I don't know why you torment yourself, Russell.
We could do it.
Russ is trying to send me something. He can never send me pictures. It's always your text will come through, but it just sits and says downloading, downloading, downloading.
That's
That's
always
what you're
your computer,
blocking me,
Randy.
and you're evil doing that. Now I'll email it.
I don't know why you do it. Oh man, I saw this was coming through from Russ. I said, "Oh, good. Hey, wait a minute, I can't get that."
Yeah, I was figuring that after I said something about it, you'd have got it fixed, but apparently you're slacking in that department. I can't send you nothing, and it's probably on account of a problem on your end.
I called the guy at Apple and explained to him what happened, but they're working on it in the IT department.
Operator error.
No, it's not that at all. It's something on his end. My phone rejects his phone. Well, who else has an iPhone? Carl?
No, I got Android.
So who has an iPhone?
WA3FPN.
So send Russ. Send him what you sent me. Do you have Good Mike's number?
I might here. I got a whole bunch of people's numbers from everybody texting back and forth.
Mike, can I send it to him?
Sure.
I won't send him the private one.
You send him whatever you want.
How's your back, Mike?
Pretty good. Jeff, thanks for asking. I go back to the doctor next week for an X-ray, and I guess they'll probably tell me how it's doing. Normally I'm not in any pain. I can walk around fine. For a while, after I walk around a while, it starts bothering me a little bit, and about in the middle of the night I have to take a couple of ibuprofen. Other than that, it's all good.
Oh, so it's improving as you go, which is great.
Yeah, I just can't lift any boat anchors yet.
No gamers,
Well, take the summer off.
Pogo at competitions.
Yeah, but I'm missing a lot of good buys.
You got to get a helper to come with you.
I was just going to say, you just need to hire a young guy with a wagon.
Yeah, there you go. I had a helper at the beginning of the year over at York. I bought an SX101, an HT32A, and an HT33A, and I had to have some guys load them into my van for me. I also need to know, Joanne wants to know, white or red on the Sangria?
Oh boy, you're going to have to get some votes. I mean, I got along real good with that red. But I can get along with white pretty well too, so please don't let that be the only vote you get.
Well, we have another week yet.
How's things over in Toad Harbor? All good in the Toad Harbor hood, buddy. Everything is going fantastic. Oh, very good. Yeah, I got some of the garden in up here. They had frost warnings for northern Adirondacks last night. It's 40. Oh, wow, it's warmed up. 48.6 here now. Got a bunch of tomato plants out and green beans out, and the rest of my seedlings are upstairs. We had frost 2 days ago. Today's Monday morning frost. We had frost, and this morning it was in the 30s again, and right now it's 50 degrees. So it's been chilly. And yesterday we had sub-zero wind chill yesterday at times in the morning. It was really windy, and it actually was a sub-zero wind chill. Yeah, this weather is nuts.
Yeah, it's been cold for June.
Yeah, it sure has. Yeah, it's 15 degrees below normal temperatures here. I don't know what we are. We're the average falls. I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. All I know, and I don't want to sound like a jerk here, but I love this weather, okay, because I don't mind it being cool. I like the cool better than the hot. Although the Harley sits there, the garden's not finished. I mean, that kind of stuff I like to do too, but I am pretty okay with it not being hot. Yeah, I don't like the hot weather either, but I'd like to have at least warm, 70s or whatever to get the darn garden in. And I got corn. I planted corn out there too. Hopefully the seed doesn't rot before it sprouts. I always say I want to live in a place that stays between 50 and 60 degrees, and I think I found it. The wire all cut, the loop for my loop antenna. I think it was 520 feet. I got it cut for 1930, so it's all laid out in the yard. I just have to run around this weekend. I got the poles out back. I had my steel pipes. I got those. My son stopped by, and with the trailer, we got all the poles delivered, and I got pallet of concrete mix all delivered out here. So hopefully this weekend will be dry at some point where I can pour my base. It'll be a little bit different operation, Carl, than what that video was showing. But I'll get that base all poured, let that concrete get hard next week, and maybe the weekend or two after that, I'll be able to tilt up one of my corners. I can experiment and see how my tilt up works, and if it works, I got another one to do, and I'll get my loop way up in the air. How high up are you going to go? Shooting for 70 feet. All the bearings that I need to tilt it up with. I got the pipe. I've got the supports. I ordered the pulleys, the stainless steel, pulleys. I got those coming. I'll have those probably Friday or Monday. So we're getting there. I got plenty of Dacron rope. Screwy SWR over here again. KA1LHZ. KB2ZVP. Be right back. Got a phone call.
KC1RS.
KB2ZVP, N1DBL.
'Tis I.
Yes, I know.
So, you said you had all kinds of things to talk about tonight, and I want to hear what they were. I could barely get through an episode of the show that we're watching out there, so I had to, I ate fast, I washed fast, and now I'm waiting to hear all these things that you're going to enlighten us with.
Well, it's nothing important. I needed to talk to Devin on a subject, and he's not here, so he can't answer. 2D, I wanted to talk to him, but he's not here, so he can't answer. And then I just did other stuff. I did a lot of little things around the house today.
Okay, well, yeah, 2D's still under the weather. He sent me a text, and his fever is broke, but he's still flat on his back.
Yeah, some of these colds you get nowadays really screw you up bad. Anyway, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I went to Home Depot and I did buy silver solder. They do sell silver solder. Nice little package, 3 ounces. It's like $8.97. So I didn't have any, so I picked up some of that. It's a good size, 062, which is good, for heavier soldering like we do. And let's see, I went and bought some 7 lawn, the spray that you spray with your hose, because I have moles on my front lawn every year, and it's because they're after the grubs. So I really hose down my lawn with 7. Hopefully that'll kill the grubs. And I bought a new hose thing to wrap my hose thing, rusted apart. So I bought a new nice one of those today and mounted it. And let me think, what else did I do? I did a couple other projects here around the house. Oh yeah, my where my deck is hits my house. It's the wood's all rotting out. I called 10 different places today, and not one guy ever called me back.
Everybody's busy. The solder that you got, I don't see the size on mine. I don't know. Which one do you have? Because I've got some here. I was just curious. I buy it with the flux, the paste, in the solder, all in one package with a little brush. I think that's pretty handy. What do you have?
062. The flux is in the solder, and it's radio solder.
Oh, that's not the package I'm looking at. I'm looking at plumbing solder.
Well, let me get mine. I'll get it. Hang on one second. Now, you get this at Home Depot. They have plumbing and they have electrical. It says electrical. Silver bearing rosin core solder. Lead-free. 062. Benzomatic.
Yeah, I know what that is. I've seen that there. I don't have that because I use this, but okay.
Anyway, that's what I got, and it's good. It's good that you can buy it there. Matter of fact, I should have bought a couple rolls. I bought one. Next time I go back, I'm going to buy another one because this is the 62 is a much better size, and it's good for it's good for doing the kind of stuff we do on our antennas. Gary was in earlier, and of the 3 people in here, I had the biggest signal down to him. I told him to come back. Did he show up to come back?
I haven't heard them yet. I did hear them when I was watching the show. The solder that I use every day, my normal electrical solder is 032, so it's pretty small, and you just got to pile this stuff into. So yeah, 062 certainly would be better.
Yeah, I got some 031, 032. Yeah, I wrap it 4 times over, and then I put it. You have to twist it. The other day, I clipped it into my drill press, and I spun it. And then you make a piece that's real thick, about 2 feet long. That's what you need for doing antenna work. But this 062, you could just do this twice, and it would work. But like I said, while I can get it, I'm going to go buy some more and have plenty of this stuff on hand.
Does it tell you the percentage of solder of silver?
No, it just tells you it's copper, tin, and silver. Usually it's about 3%.
Yes, this is tin, silver, copper. And bismuth, whatever that is.
I don't know, but all I know, it's good to have solder on hand when you need to do the work. And that little torch I bought that time, like you have, the Benzomatic, torch, that's the most handy thing there is.
I have a couple of those around here, and I keep those full, and I've got a big bottle of the stuff to fill them with, the butane, If anybody doesn't have one of those butane torches, that's an absolute necessity.
Oh yeah, I use a Master Appliance UT100SI. That thing's a killer, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah, is that what you use when you're doing the circuit boards in your computers?
No, because the tips on it are like 1,000 watts.
These don't have tips. This is an open flame unit we're talking about.
Yeah, this one uses has a catalytic converter in the base of the tip, so you start the butane, and then once the catalytic converter gets warmed up, it just auto ignites the butane running through it. It's a pretty cool system.
I have one of those. It's a Blue Point, and that works good. That's what I used to always use. And on the Blue Point, you can take the tip off. You've got all kinds of protectors and things like that. You can take the tip off and just use the open flame, and that's what I wind up doing when I'm outside and doing the soldering on the wires. But the one with the tips is really nice when I'm out in the car doing some soldering. I don't have to worry about lead cords and like that, and that works good for that. But I always go to the hand torch now when I do soldering for the antennas, because that really does a great job. And what were you saying, Jeff? You use it to start your fires?
Yeah, I have one up at the cottage, and I use it to light the wood stove. It's fantastic.
Oh, by the way, I went to my Packy down the corner today, and the guy finally got Tomcat Gin.
I could go for a drink tonight. I've had a few glasses of lemon water, but I was thinking maybe I'd mosey into the kitchen and see if I could find something to suit my fancy out there, but I haven't.
Yeah, he got some wine without sulfides, which I bought a bottle. It's not very good wine, but I drank it just to try it, and my heart's not skipping beats. So, it still has a touch of sulfides in it. It doesn't say sulfide free because grapes have sulfides in them. That's another question I want to ask Devin. How come why do grapes have sulfides in them? Unless they take it right out of the soil or it's part of the fertilizer they use. But the point is no added sulfides, and I've been drinking it and it doesn't bother me, so that's good. And like I said, then he had Tomcat for $59 a bottle.
What did I get it for?
Well, you said it was. I don't think you knew. I sent you 50. You said you thought it was around 50.
Yeah, probably. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, they put that sulfur in the wine to stop the fermentation, Ray. K1LH is that?
Right, but it kills me, so I can't drink wine with sulfides in it anymore.
Also, there's a lot of people that are allergic to it too.
Well, I am now. That's the problem. I'm allergic to it. It makes my heart skip beats. I can tell you this. There's a hell of a lot of people in this world with pacemakers that don't need them.
If they would just stop drinking wine, right?
Well, it's not the wine. It's you got to figure out what it is. But, now let's be honest with each other, Randy. This is just between me and you, okay? No one else. Just between me and you. You got that?
Yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
There ain't a lot of people around like you and I, okay? We're smart enough to figure this shit out, because I figured it out 3 times now, which was, number 1 was the coffee, number 2 was the sulfides in the wine, and number 3 was the poison wheat. So, of course, you get better at it as you get more experienced with it. But I'm telling you, if I was eating wheat, if I never stopped eating wheat and I went to the heart doctor, they'd be sending me for a pacemaker.
Yeah, probably, or drinking the wine. Yeah. It certainly could be. I know that I was having an issue not eating wheat. I was getting, I don't know what it was. Mark said it was probably my blood sugar, and it may have been. But I'll tell you something. When I was coming off that stuff, my heart I was getting like flutterers, really fluttering, like I saw a really good-looking girl go by. I was just getting like crazy fluttering going on all the time.
Yeah, mine does that too. I don't know if it's from the not eating wheat or from something else, but the same thing was happening with me too.
W2MUR. I haven't had that issue anymore, luckily, thankfully. Hello, Mike. Be back in a minute. I'm going to go bring my empty water glass out to the kitchen. KB2ZVP.
Well, 1 second. Did you ever get that new wheat yet?
No, the flour, no, we haven't. Nope. I don't know why either, because Maureen has been, no, she had to go to the store tonight and mow the lawn last night, so she's been busy, but one of these nights she'll get it.
Well, I think you should spank her tonight. Okay, N1DVL.
Hey, by the way, wine does the same thing to my, I get erratic heartbeat as well if I drink too much wine. And also, your pacemaker is only required if your heart rate goes too low.
Too low? Well, I don't know. I think they put them in when you have an erratic heartbeat, too.
No, erratic heartbeats can't really necessarily be controlled by pacemakers. My heart went down to 35 beats a minute because the doctor overprescribed a prescription that was supposed to take, and it does. It completely takes the arrhythmia out of my heart. It beats perfectly now. But when he first did it, I said, I want the smallest prescription, and he ended up giving me too much. And here I'm a potato head, and I called that. So and my heart actually went down to 35 beats a minute. I felt like a bat going into hibernation or something.
Yeah, well, again, my doctor, my blood pressure was real high, and he gave me some blood pressure medication, a real mild stuff. He said, this is very mild. And I took one pill one morning, and I got dizzy. About 20 to 30 minutes after I took it, I was very lightheaded. And for hours afterwards, I felt queasy. I just felt queasy. That's the last one of them things I ever took. But then again, it was the wheat doing the high blood pressure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing how overprescribed we are as probably a nation, even a world. But and especially for older people, I can think of my mother, for instance. She would get on. By the time she died, she had a whole basket full of drugs. I said, it's almost like it's better to just take somebody off of all the drugs for 2 days, in a hospital or something, and just to kind of reset the whole baseline on stuff, because people just drift farther and farther away with too much medication.
Absolutely. You cannot take more than 3 or 4 different medications every day. These old people are taking 8, 10, 15, and you just can't do it.
I can't get my dad. I got so mad at him. All he's got to do is take one Coumadin a day, just one. I said, Dad, you take your green pill? No, I haven't been doing it. Why, Dad? You're sitting on the couch all day, and your blood's just going to pool, and the Coumadin, you need it because you have a little regular heartbeat and all this other stuff. All he's got to do is take one a day. And if I don't keep after him, he won't take it.
53 KXB. Well, it's about time. I want a report. I want a report going back a week. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
I've been working on taking care of the storm damage from April 14th. I got to hang some shutters on the garage, and I'm still waiting for the roofers to come to put a tin roof on the garage and on the barn and on the house and my outbuildings. And the western end of the house, I got that up to the gable. So been working myself tired.
Are they going to strip the old shingles off?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're all set then, man. You made out like a home run.
Not really. I had 30-year architectural shingles up there.
Yeah, but now you'll have new ones.
Yeah, you're right. 50-year warranty on the steel. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Tired.
You got tired and feather too?
Yeah. How you doing, Randy?
So when you
Thomas, how are you?
When you putting up a new antenna?
Sorry, Ray, we doubled. Nobody heard you.
I'm sure he heard me. I said, when are you putting up a new antenna?
You mean Randy?
No, you. I think you need a new antenna. I just have a sneaking suspicion that antenna's not working right.
You think? What am I showing you?
You're only 10 over 9. That's it. During the winter, you hit 30 a couple times. You were 20, 25 a lot. Now you never go over 10.
But isn't everybody about 10 dB down, Ray, to you right now? I mean, with the summertime conditions?
Well, not really, because you go up still to 40. The other night, Carl went up to 45 over 9. Let's see. Who else was it? Somebody else was real strong the other day. Matter of fact, Mark went up to 25 over 9. Russ went up to about 40 or 40 over 9 the other night. So no, other people are still going up high. Tom never goes over 10 now.
You just hit 40, Ray.
Yeah, but don't forget, Ray. Don't forget, in the wintertime, we were going to 50 over to each other sometimes. We were up to 50 at times, 49 and 50. So not a lot, granted, not a lot. but we were, and I think that I think when you put the other two elements on, you picked up some of the guys in close. I think some of the guys really close to you have gotten stronger, but I don't know if you've gotten if you picked up anything out to me, because you're not near as strong as you were over the wintertime. And Tom is still 25 over to me. He's still doing a great job to me.
Yeah, I don't get it why he's strong to you and not strong to me, but he said he can put up a loop, so a loop's a better antenna anyway. So start planning on your loop, Tom. Do a all-new wire, put out a brand-new loop, and I think that's going to do better for you.
Ray, you're 38 here, 38-40, almost the same as Carl, and Randy, you're 50 over. Tom, you'll have to say it again for me to give you a report.
Okay, I won't have a new antenna until I get caught up around here.
It's 32 over, Tom.
20 over.
10 over, Tom.
15 over here.
See, the thing is, everybody that's close to everybody, they're close to each other, are really, really strong. I think it's just band is like, I was talking to Bad Mike about this today. The guys that are in close to each other are really strong to each other, but as soon as you get a little further away, you kind of drop off a little bit. I don't know, I can't explain why that is, but it seems like Tom's strong to me, Mike's strong to me, Carl's strong to me. Now, Carl's in between Ray and I, so Carl's strong to both of us, Mike's a little bit closer to me than he is to Ray, so, I really think that seems to be the case.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, Russ.
Yeah, conditions last night were kind of weird. You're right about that close-in business. I do a lot of medium wave DXing, because you guys check out of here early, right? So a lot of, most of the time, I get a lot of the big clear channel stations usually take over the band in a lot of places. And one of those is WJR on 760. Well, there's a 5 kilowatt station up near Boston on 760 also. And normally WJR blows them out of the water. Last night the Boston station was killing them. So, it's conditions.
I just went to look at Gary, and he was even a little bit better than 10 over 9. So that's his normal signal.
Who, Gary in North Carolina?
Yes.
If you want a comparison here, Randy, you're anywhere from 25 to 35 over 9 with QSB. You haven't been 20 over to me. You've been 10 to 15 over to me, Ray. You haven't been above 20 tonight, so you're lower than you normally are to me.
Yeah, Ray, you're not quite 10 over 9, and Randy, you're about 25 over 9.
Well, that tells me that Tom has somehow, there's been some kind of a variation in Ray's antenna or your antenna that's caused, because you have a mutually a weaker signal than normal, both Ray to you and you to Ray. And Jeff, you're running about 30 to almost 35 over here.
Hey, you're all full quieting here, and I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody. WAE2.
No, you were in there, old man.
Oh, I've been in here since 7:30 every night.
Hello, Doc. Good night, Doc. How's Mama doing?
She's doing much, much better, thank you. In fact, that's part of the reason I got to go is I got to help her adjust her mass for that CPAP machine. So, anyway, right on. 73. WAE2, yes.
So, hi, Doc, and bye, Doc.
Had an amazing day today, man. I made a contact with a big Lutheran home, senior care facility, and the Presbyterian home. So I'm going to make a big presentation to them next Wednesday and to put some light. A lot of their main signs are not even lit. It's amazing how much metal halide bulbs they still have, and a lot of them aren't even doing anything. The funeral home I made a contact with today, and they need new lighting, and they're really excited about it. And then I've got to go to a meeting tomorrow for the Clinton, New York Historical Society. They might get awarded by New York State a big renovation award for that town, and nobody has stepped up to do the lighting. So that's really, it was an amazing day.
Hopefully you get a couple of those contracts. I was wondering what you're going to be doing because I haven't heard you talk about you've been out, beating the bushes lately.
Yeah, no, I'm out every day beating the bushes when I'm not actually doing jobs. So, but Monday and Tuesday I got a bunch of sign work. It was really amazing. Monday today were amazing days. So.
Very good. Oh, you know what? I got an announcement. Remember last night I talked about the guy that got the 7610 and he's sending it back?
Yes.
Ray, do you remember?
Yeah.
See, so if you push and hold the volume button, the radio goes into mute and the display goes out?
No kidding. Huh. I never heard of that.
And I thought my display was going bad today because one side was brighter than the other side, and I realized I had my preamp on. I'm just joking about that part.
Go ahead, bad mic. Press your volume button and see if the radio goes into mute and the display goes out.
Well, it's supposed to go into mute when you press the volume button, but the display doesn't go out. I tried it.
Yeah, neither does mine.
Yeah, that's what the guy said. His display was out, and so that's what I don't know what to say. It was absolutely operator error.
Well, his display is out. That can't be operator error, can it?
Well, so this is what I suspect. Okay, this is the old Randy reading between the lines. I think he's probably got a little issue with his display, and because he lost the volume, that was one, and the display was number two. So he was trying to get his money back, and he talked to somebody, and they said, "Well, this is what you got to do." Then he got the radio working again. Then he probably realizes that the radio's working, and maybe the display has a problem, maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. It's beyond me. When that's the reason that the radio was going to go back, I thought, well, okay.
Well, Gary was in here earlier.
Does the 7610 not have a sleep mode?
It may have gone to sleep when he had the volume off, and it maybe the thing went to sleep. I don't know. Jeff, it's hard to tell. And it's hard to get a straight answer from some people.
My screen goes off in 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's got a sleep mode.
Does it go blank, or does it go into screensaver?
No, it just goes like the radio was off.
Yeah, except there's a little glowing ring around the power button still.
Yeah. Right, the power button is glowing blue, and some lights are on, but the screen goes to sleep.
When the screen goes to sleep, the noise reduction LED flashes.
Do you have a screensaver? Like mine will say KB2ZVP and swirl back around and all that?
No.
Yeah, the Kenwood has it shows all the old Kenwood radios. It goes through the 820, 830, 850, 870.
That's cool.
They could do that in software if they ever come along with an upgrade here.
I'll bet you if you look at your radio, Carl, that you'll have a screensaver or something there that you can program, no?
No, just the timeout for when the screen goes dark.
I think the new 101 has a screensaver.
Anyway, when Gary came in earlier, he said that ICOM has a new policy for the 7610. Now, I don't know if he was pulling my chain or not. He didn't sound like he was. He said if the radio goes bad within 30 days, they give you your money back with no issue.
Yeah, but then you got no radio.
That's right. And if you're stupid, you buy another one. But if you're smart, you get a Kenwood.
Hey, listen, no radio and $3,700 in your pocket is better than a broken radio and no money in your pocket.
Or get it fixed.
What was that, Bruce? I thought I heard Bruce way in the background. I thought he was like way off his mic.
No, that's not our Bruce. It's there was somebody in there, but we couldn't hear him.
N3ZAN.
That's K1AJ on the half hour.
N1DVL.
KB2ZVP near the bottom.
W2MUR.
WA3FPN.
KHT3KXP.
K2EXP.
So just a second.
Tom, is there still any light out where you are?
No, it's dark.
Okay.
I forgot Mike's wife's name. How is Joanne doing? Is she liking the new job, Mike?
She is liking a new job. She's out at YRC headquarters this week doing some learning about stuff. She just got off the phone with her. She's having a big old time.
YRC?
Yellow Roadway Corporation. It's the parent company of New Penn Trucking, which she works for.
Yeah, okay. I should have known that. We had YRC deliver some stuff for me today.
Well, that's good. Maybe some of that trickles down to me then.
What part of the world is she in tonight?
She'll be in Kansas all week. She'll come home on Friday.
How's your back?
It's doing pretty good. I go in to see the doctor next week for an X-ray, and hopefully they'll tell me that everything's going back together as it should.
Are you all braced up, or are you freelancing it?
Am I what?
Are you all braced up? Do you have to wear your brace?
Yeah, when I'm up walking around, I wear my brace. When I'm reclining in my chair here or sitting at the office, I don't have to wear it, but when I'm up moving around, they want me to wear it.
N3ZAN.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, is this Randy?
It's Randy.
So I was listening the other day. It might have been on 40 Years or 20, one of those two. You made a contact from somewhere in New York on a highway to one of the battleships that weekend. You remember that?
Yeah, it was this past weekend. It was Battleship Weekend.
Well, I have to tell you, I was on my garage station with a little end-fed antenna. I don't remember if it was 40 or 20, because I have an indoor 20-meter dipole in the garage, and I have an end-fed 9 to 1 gallon, type of deal on the outside of the garage, and that's for 40 meters. But you came in so loud, it was like you were in front of my house.
Yeah, probably on 40. I've been spending a lot of time on 40. I like that band. 40 is a pretty cool band.
Yeah, just don't get tied up with the miss net, or else you'll be stuck waiting 3 hours for your turn. I made that mistake the other night. But I had to tell you that you were just so booming loud, and I made a comment because I was the next contact after you, and I said to the ship, I said the contact you made just before me is a Toad Harbor member, and I said it's not surprising that he sounds so good. And I'm down here in southeastern Pennsylvania, and you were wherever you were. I don't know who you are, but you do. You can see here from your car to southeastern Pennsylvania, almost to the Delaware border. You were booming in, probably 20 over or better.
Yeah, thanks, Mark, for that. I did hear somebody after that say there's a Toad Harbian or something like that. There's somebody from the Toad Harbor net. I did hear that mentioned. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a surprise to hear you, so I just wanted to give you that feedback. That's my summer station. I hang out in the garage with the door open in the summer when it's nice and then play radio. I bought a little HF radio for down there, and I just mess around with wire antennas. So anyway, just want to let you know that it's good to hear you. It's funny to recognize somebody. I wasn't expecting to recognize somebody, so excellent job, but I'm not surprised. N3ZAN.
All right, Mark, thanks very much for that nice report. Who doesn't want to hear that? Ray, did you hear what he said? Now Ray's going to pretend he's not there.
He heard it. You have to be running an amplifier, right?
Yeah, I have a little ALS 500, and I run it about 300 watts. On 40 meters, I've got to be kind of careful, but I can get like 250 to 300 watts out of it.
Yeah, well, the audio, everything was in line with what Code Harbor stands for. It really did sound that good, so I was very, very impressed. So, all right, your N3ZAN 73.
Thanks very much, Mark. You're making me blush. 73. Did anybody miss that? I can repeat everything Mark said if you want to hear it.
I recorded it. That's in the archives.
Okay.
We'll rebroadcast that next Wednesday.
I do love working mobile, I'll tell you. Well, you know what it's like. It's so much fun.
I know, I miss it. I already have a guy lined up to get it up on a lift.
When I drive to work and I'm talking to somebody, I'll slow down. I'll slow down almost to the speed limit just because I want to stick around. I want to make the ride last a little longer.
That's just crazy talk.
I know. Can you imagine, Jeff? I'm driving the speed limit. My wife would think I was having a heart attack or something if she saw me going down the road that slow.
When I get on the radio, I miss turns. I do all kinds of crazy things.
You guys are still in here.
I missed the turn. I missed the turn. Yes, it was a Sunday or Saturday. Saturday. We're driving down the road, and I'm talking away, and I'm raising hell and carrying on. Next thing you know, we're halfway into Syracuse, and she goes, "We missed our turn." I said, "No problem. We'll just turn around, and go back." So I still miss turns. It's a lot of fun, though. It passes the time. We drove down. We've been driving a lot on the weekends. We were down in Catskills and at that Irish Fest, and then back home to see Mitch and Amanda and the baby and like that last weekend. It really is nice to have the radio to pass the time away.
I was going through, the remote process for the ICOM radio-controlled software and some of the other options. It is like, I'll be honest with you, I know maybe those of you that are out there that have done it won't think this, but to me, I'm looking at it, it was like the meaning of life. It was, hop up and down on your left foot, waving a...
WA1NGH, he's done it.
Yeah, Jack does it. I'll tell you something though, Mike. We went down to the Irish Festival, and about probably 50 or 60% of that trip, I had no cell phone coverage. All down through the Catskills, down into Durham, over. And then when we went to Doc's house, I had no cell phone coverage go over by Doc's house. There's a lot of places that I go where there's no cell phone coverage. No cell phone coverage means there's no radio coverage.
Right. And with the same token, think about it in the winter. Say going to Colorado on a winter trip, and all of a sudden you get some salt and spray and you can't get on your radio. All you can do is listen, and then you pull out your cell phone and remote in. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be. But the problem is with that, with your station, I definitely agree with you. But with my old manual, old man, bolt anchor, stuff, I can't do that. I could remote into one band that would be here. But if I'm in Colorado during the daytime, I'm not going to work the band here. So with your station, and a lot of you guys have these modern stations with modern amps and modern tuners, why, then the remote would absolutely be. Now, if I were going to use that, I would sell that with, But computers and me, we're not. Set it up.
Yeah, I mean, I would need somebody as well. But here's the thing, Randy. You don't need to do any of that. If you go on a trip, you leave your 7651 on 200 watts. You can tune that to anything on your loop. You leave your amp off, and you'll still sound a lot better than your mobile. Way better in your mobile. That's what I would do. Just, think about it. I mean, 200 watts, 7651, and tune to anything you want, and you're good as gold.
He wouldn't be able to tune.
That's right.
Yeah, you okay, the flattener wouldn't work? No, it wouldn't.
No way, no. And I would be better. I wouldn't be any better either, because that mobile system works pretty freaking good. I mean, let's face it, sometimes talking to Gary, when I'm getting out of work in the wintertime, I'm stronger than Ray. I'm stronger than a lot of bases when I'm out running around. So when I'm in Colorado, and you don't know what propagation you're going to be working either. You're going to be working New York propagation. The neat thing is when you're out there, you're working that propagation from that area. You're talking to guys out there that normally you don't hear because they're so far. They're far enough away on 160 that you don't typically hear them. So when I'm out there, I'm working guys that are out there.
That's true.
Hey, Mike, did you get that RSBA1 software working?
No, I didn't. I don't have that software, but I was looking at some YouTube videos, it's so poorly done, and I was reading some articles, and they don't do a very good job of stepping you through this thing, static IP addresses, dynamic IP addresses. I've got fiber server versus people that use cable servers. I have a fiber one, so I think mine's dynamic. So that's just nothing. I mean, the IP address is the easy part. The hard part is, setting everything up, and like I just said, it's just the meaning of life.
Yeah, well, I got it going here at the house, within my own network. I didn't set it up to go out through my firewalls and whatnot. But, yeah, it was just kind of a pain in the ass, and you run this little stupid utility before you run the actual radio software, and then the radio software doesn't look remotely like the actual radio. I mean, it's got all the same buttons, but they're all different places.
Can't remember.
Yeah, I talked to him when he was down in Florida on his iPad, and he sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could love to have something set up on my iPad. I just don't have the time or patience. I guess if I set aside a week and screwed around with it, I could definitely figure it out.
Oh, by the way, we need Richie up here. We need Richie down here, I guess I should say, Jeff. When you talk to Richie, we've got a very important question to ask him.
Oh, he's up on 1963 right now.
So you got to have him come down here, though, because it's a question that Ray has to ask.
I'll put in a request.
When Ray's in here, I'm not sure where the hell he went to.
No, I don't mean today. I mean, I'll talk to him, and he'll come down sometime.
Roger.
Well, it's another quiet night.
My noise level started off high, went low, and now it's creeping all back up again. But I'm actually seeing lightning on this side of Lake Michigan now, so it's moving over.
Yeah, we're getting lightning tomorrow. I'm sure you'll get it before I get it, Randy.
Well, there's a huge swath of lightning just west of Lake Michigan that's coming from the interior right now. And then there's another one moving northeast up through Missouri and into Illinois.
modules that plug into your outlet. They're rectangular, so you can actually plug two in an outlet, which you can't do with the round ones. And so you get a 4-pack for $39, and they'll handle up to 15 amps. So I'm going to put, switch off all my radios with the app that they give you. A very nice app. Works extremely well. And I ordered a big Frankenstein switch. It's not the porcelain type, but it's really made well. It's like $22. And I'm going to put that in my open line to disconnect that. And then the last thing, I looked, and I found for $90, it was a 30 amp relay that you plug into one of these. You plug it into the outlet with a switchable outlet. That you, it's all, you can do it on Alexa. You can do, right on your iPhone, and so you can disconnect your amp with this relay. You just tie it into the circuit breaker and switch it. Let the dedicated circuit breaker that I have switch to this relay, and so once that happens, I'll be able to switch everything off automatically except for my antenna. I just got to figure out I could do that with individual contactors, 2 of them, and do that remotely, but I just not to that point yet.
What brand are those switches at Amazon?
I will tell you in a second. They're on my dining room table. I'll be back. W2MUR.
The ones
Thank you.
I have here are made by a company called Kasa, K-A-S-A, and they're rectangular like the ones you're talking about, Mike. And they work quite well, and they work with Google Home or Alexa, any of that stuff.
Yeah, the Kasa, though, they're just 2-prong, right?
No, 3.
Okay, they're 3. Yeah, that was the problem. I've got the Lutron devices, but the Lutron doesn't make it with the grounded plug. They only make it with 2, which I didn't. I don't know why they do that, but they do it.
You can't buy ungrounded here.
So what is the ones you just got?
Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, so looking at the box, these are called Smart Wi-Fi Plug Mini. Where's the manufacturer? Oh, it's Meros app. I use the Meros app. I'll do it phonetically. Mike, Echo, Romeo, Oscar, Sierra, Sierra. You download that app, and I'm assuming that app is the same manufacturer for these. Meros. Yet the box says a Smart Wi-Fi Plug Mini, and it's part number Michael Sierra 110.
Thank you.
What a great price, man. Oh, yeah, it is Meros. They are the manufacturers, but they're rectangular in shape, and what a great price. 4 of them for $39.
What are you doing with them?
So I'll put, for instance, I've got all my radios in one outlet, so I'll put 2 of them in my outlet that switches all my radios off and computer off and everything else off. So everything will be off in my radio room. Even my antique radios will be off. The only thing that won't be switched off is my amplifier. I just have to manually unplug it for now until I get that other $90 arrangement.
So they're a remote. And how do you control them? You have to have it into your computer system somehow, right? So if the computer goes off, how will it come back on?
No, it's nothing to do with your computer. You simply plug them in close to your Wi-Fi. You download the app on your iPhone or your smartphone, and you configure it right on your smartphone. It's just totally independent of a computer.
It's only through your own network, through your Wi-Fi. You don't need a computer.
So your Wi-Fi can't be turned off by it. I mean, it can be turned off by it, but you can't turn it back on with it.
Correct. You are correct, sir.
Yeah, so in other words, you download the app, you plug this in, there's a little button on the right side, you hold the button down, and then all of a sudden you'll see it pop up on your Wi-Fi, and you get, there's a way you configure it. It's very simple. It takes you less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty cool. And how much current can they handle?
15 amps. Which actually might be pushing it for your 7851, right?
Well, no, because I don't run the thing at 100 watts. You know, I run it at, like right now, 45 watts or 50 watts.
Even if you did, it still wouldn't go close to 15 amps.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. So I've got my, I got this Astron power supply that is rated at 70 amps intermittently and 50 amps consistent.
That's DC, though.
Say again?
That's DC, though.
Yeah. So we'll be good. Yeah, I already checked the spec on that. I'm good.
Oh, man, I got a big problem here. I just realized something, Mike.
What?
It's the 4th of the month, and I didn't change my calendar.
Oh, you got to get that changed. You know, Woody, do you have the Trump calendar?
No, I have cars. I have cars on my calendar. What car is in June?
What's the June car?
It's hard to believe we're the 4th day in June, and it's 51 degrees and raining.
It's 55 here.
Oh, my God. Who gave me this calendar? Was this my wife? I got it from work. There's no way I took this calendar home with me. You brought this calendar home, hung it in my room. Yeah. There's no way I took a calendar home that has a 1972 Volkswagen Beetle on it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it had a Prius on it.
It's a classic.
It's a June bug, get it? God, I never even got that. She just told me. It's a June bug. Oh, man.
$32.99, Mike. Mirage Wi-Fi Smart Plug Mini.
Oh, yeah, $32.99, even cheaper.
It says there's 16 amp.
Oh, well, I'm looking on the back. I don't know why they say 16 amp. I'm looking on the back of mine and it says 15.
Okay, they're a single plug, rectangular with like a round button on the side.
Exactly. You are the winner.
So you could get 2 of those into a strip, and then you could have like your computer in one and your radio in the other.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean, to say you walk out of the house fast, you forget to turn everything off, and you can turn at least these off remotely.
You think about it. You have your coffee pot in it. You know, because some people their coffee burners stay hot and they keep burning. So if you walk out with one of those things on, that is something that could cause a fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could do your whole house with this. I mean, think about it. I mean, most houses, all you need is eight devices really to do everything you want to do as far as lighting and stuff like that. And then you can tie it into Alexa, like Alexa, shut up, I'm not talking to you. So at the end of the night, I'll say, Alexa, good night. I'm saying it softly so she doesn't turn on and turn all my lights off. Alexa, good night. And then everything turns off except the kitchen light and my outdoor lights.
I was watching TV the other night, and I have a Google Home in the same room where the big TV is, and they had a Google commercial on, and they were demonstrating different things on the commercial, and the guy goes, "Hey Google, turn off all the lights," and all of a sudden all my lights went off in the house.
You gotta please repeat that story. Maureen, pay attention. It's a funny story.
So I have Google Home in my living room where the big TV is, and there was a Google commercial on, and part of the commercial, the celebrity who's doing all the stuff for the commercial says, "Hey Google, turn off the lights," and all my lights in the house went off.
That is a riot. Oh, that's funny.
So Google Home is not plugged in the living room anymore.
Can you change the name of, like, instead of being Google, call it Jesus or something?
No, it won't. It doesn't. It won't allow you.
Yeah. Alexa will. You could change it to computer. Like Star Trek. Computer, do this. Computer, do that. A lot of
I
people
think
don't know that.
Google wants it as a marketing ploy, so that you're saying Google all the time, and that way you remember that it's Google.
So I just got my garage door. My garage door just gave up the ghost about a month ago, so I got the Wi-Fi garage door opener, so that I can close that on my app. I was waiting for that garage door opener I was actually secretly hoping it would die, because it was pretty old, and I knew the next thing I was going to get was going to be a Wi-Fi garage door opener, because I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to close the garage door. And around here, you get animals in there. Who knows what goes in there, if you leave that garage door open. And so say if somebody needs to come in the house, you can open the garage door from anywhere in the world, or close it from anywhere in the world.
And you can tell if somebody opens the garage door too, right?
Yes, yeah, it'll alert you that the garage door is opening, and obviously if you're not home, that's a problem.
I like the idea of shutting off the power. Now, you can also get them to shut off the main breaker too, can't you?
Well, I'm sure you can. I didn't see the devices readily online. The biggest one I saw was a 30-amp device that will work at 220. But yeah, no, you'd have to have, what you would have is big contactors, big 200-amp contactors, and they would be energized by this smart outlet,
Well, I know they make for, so in some of these big plants that I go to, like, for instance, the one that's out in Buffalo, they have a solenoid that turns the main breaker on, because there's some big stuff that can happen when you turn that main, 15,000 amp breaker on. You know what I mean? So they have this solenoid that is electrically controlled, and that's remoted. And you can have a control panel in a small room someplace way away from that control panel, that big outlet. And when you turn that thing on, it's a loud bang, and you can open it the same way.
Yeah, well, I think what they do for most of those is they'll use, I saw some really nice solid-state relays that are energized by 115 volts, and you can even get them energized at 12. But most of them are energized at 115. So you take your solid-state relay, which is a 40-amp relay, or they even make them 100 amps, triac controlled, and then you take the output of that, and then you take that output and energize that big contactor. And you could literally do that by switching on and off that solid-state relay using smart control.
Yeah, this is a big mechanical solenoid. It's like a foot in diameter. It just is designed to throw these big breakers. It's old school too. It's something that somebody dreamt up, probably 25 or 30 years ago.
We used to have in the church I was in down in South Jersey, there was an old panel, and the dimmer was like a very similar to, almost like it was a pinion type of dimmer. You hear it go dit 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 dit, and it was like a pinion that would move a rheostat, to dim the whole church. Because the church had these big lights, big sodium lights in there, and high power and all this stuff. And man, that thing was the clunkiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Russ, you still listening? He sent me some pictures of this big small receiving loop, but it's
I mean, it's pretty good size, but it's very, very interesting.
What are you talking about? The receiving loop, the 15-footer?
This is small. I don't know. This is in Florida. It doesn't say the size.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find something like that was comparable, in fact, a good receive antenna. Low noise.
Well, down there in Florida uses that MS 1996 or something. He has a number in his head, but and Jeff, I do know that Jeff in New Jersey said it didn't work as well as his 500-foot beverages, or however length his beverages are, but it did work very well against lightning. It really knocked down the lightning crashes.
Yeah, if you want to Google it, it's Mike or Randy, whoever. It's an MFJ 1886, 1886, and there's a bunch of reviews on them. There's a bunch of YouTube things on them. It's got a built-in preamp. You can get one with a TR switch in it, so that you can, when you key up your radio, it will shut off the preamp and stuff.
Yeah, that's one of the little light bulb, right? If you're lighting a light bulb, you're putting too much power into it.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, Carl and I, when we first ran the beverage on the ground, the 200 foot, for me it was 230 foot, non-terminated. I tried to terminate it. It was.
Back to that, Mike. I think the Bog is way better than either of my two log configurations.
Can I use the same transformer, isolation transformer, on a Bog?
Yes.
So I got all these parts. I got these bags here, stuff that I want to build these things, and I want to be able to work on that.
Yep. Well, you can use the 4-to-1 isolation transformer on the Bog on the ground and on the loop on the ground. If you use 30 foot, but if you're going to use it with a loop on the ground, it's got to be 30 foot aside.
No, it can be bigger. It doesn't matter so much. The turns ratio, if you're going to use 5 turns, when using 75 ohm coax, you don't need as many turns because the coax is higher. So you're about 6 1/4 to 1, roughly. 6 turns on the Torah. Use on piece. So if you were going to use it on because the Bog impedance is 250 ohms.
Ohms on that, but that's why I said it was 30 ohms aside. Now, the article that I read, 50 ohms, 15 foot aside, he was always referring to the 9-to-1 isolation. That's
9-to-1. 2.
4 turns against 2. What's that? And how would I do a north, south, east, west Bog? I guess I could do 2 Bogs, non-terminated, right? Can I put one
feed it with isolation transformer and then feed the other one with the same isolation transformer, or do I need another piece of coax?
It depends on how you're going to do them. If you're going to do 4 individual bogs, you'd need 4 transformers, 4 pieces of coax, and you would have to have a switch box terminate the unused box to 75 ohms.
The antenna receive, it's going to isolate. DNC that you just plug into the back, and you just select the antenna you want.
Yeah, I get that 100%. I totally understand. Mine has 3, so I know what you mean. But what you need to know is how they're terminated when they're unused. So, for example, in my radio, with the unused antenna ports are terminated to ground. They're in a bog. For the same thing with the beverage. If they're not terminated properly into like a 75 ohm termination, then if you terminate them all to ground, then they all work as grounded elements, and it throws everything off.
I'd have to look on the in the instructions and see how it's terminated then.
And DX Engineering makes and there are plans online to do it and stuff like that too, but they do make remote coax switches that terminate to 75 ohms, so you can do it that way. The other way to do it is with the, you can build or buy, they do both, what they call a reverse bog. So you have 2 lines of wire going along your and then you can make the bog reversible. So you would only need 2 bogs, one going north-south, one going east-west, and you can switch the reflection in back and forth.
So isn't there a bog that's bidirectional, right? If you don't terminate the end of it, isn't that automatically bidirectional?
But it's yes and no. The yes part is yes, but the no part is that it's not equal gain off each end.
Got it. So it'll kind of work one way and definitely work the other way.
Yes, for example, mine runs east-west and the feed point's at the east end. So the major portion of the gain the major lobe of gain is to the west, but there is a lobe of gain to the east, but it's not as big.
Roger. Okay. That's what I'm doing here. Take a complete week off from work just to work on my antenna stuff. You know, my poles that I'm putting up for my loop, for the antennas that I want to put up. And I justified just so much.
they made a clone of, not a clone, but a robot. You know, you got to get a blow-up Randy doll. You know, put him up in the office and just let his hands go up and down once in a while. It's just so they know you're there.
Yeah, you saw what happened in that movie when Santa Claus, when he wasn't there, right?
Yes.
All right, then. We don't want any bad toys coming out of the toy factory.
That was great. Tim Allen was always... I can't believe Tim Allen did 3 of those, and they were all good.
You know, he did a sensational job in those movies.
Yeah, he's been good, and they come back onto Fox, but I haven't been watching them because I don't get Fox on DirecTV anymore. I just have to hook up, get some local stations. I got to hook up. I haven't had time to get some RG. I got RG6. I should just connect it up to my big TV antenna up above and hook it all up. I'll have 22 local channels.
Mike, just go buy yourself a $20 rabbit ear system, plug it in, you'll be just amazed at all the channels you get.
Well, I think, wait a minute, DirecTV sent me a box. That's probably what's in it. Because I complained about, well, everybody was complaining about the fact that there were 2 channels that DirecTV doesn't run. They don't use Fox Television Network anymore, and can't remember what other one they don't run. So they sent you a box, and I'm sure that's probably what's in the box. The box is just laying in my office. I haven't even opened it up.
Oh, open it up right now. Open it up and see if it's rabbit ears. If it is, you got to promise tomorrow. I won't make you do it tonight. I'm not Ray. Plug it in, turn it on, and do an antenna search or a signal search, and just tell me how the reception is with those rabbit ears.
Yeah, okay. Stand by. I'll open it up.
I'm going to complain.
W1NJC.
Rabbit ears, I love that. Randy, W2KRY, was doubting that you could pick up anything. He kept saying, there's no way you can pick up TV off the air anymore. It's all gone. You can't do it. You can't pick up with rabbit ears. He was thinking that I was pulling a big spoof.
We put one up on our tower at work, and we get like 25 channels.
Yeah, rabbit ears work great, man. We watched. I was like bumming because I wanted to watch one NASCAR race. I guess it was the Daytona 500, and we don't get the channel for whatever. I don't know even what we get for channels. If our box hasn't worked for the last month and a half, I wouldn't even know it because we don't watch off the air TV. So Maureen says, "Hey, what about those rabbit ears? You want to try those?" And I said, yeah, why not? We plug them in. Sure enough, the race was on. You could not tell the difference in the picture quality. It was Fox. That versus a cable TV signal. As clear as a bell. Just amazingly. And actually, it's faster over the air than it is over the cable system.
If it's a digital signal, it's either perfect or it's all those little squares.
So Mike's got some kind of a flat. That's one of those. It's a square. It's a bunch of wires inside of that square you're holding up, Mike.
Exactly. There's like a 300 ohm feeding a multiple dipole arrangement of some kind, and then it's got a preamp in line onto RG6, and the preamp is powered by a micro USB that plugs in. It's pretty cool.
I'll bet you it works great. Plug it in. Try it.
I'll report back tomorrow.
Oh, come on. Just do it now.
Nah.
Don't be a jerk. Just do it. You can wait till tomorrow if you want. Don't be a jerk. Just do it.
Oh, it works beautiful. I just hooked it up. Oh, it's so nice.
You lie like my rocking chair is rocking on right now.
Hey, I gotta go. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, the next day, whenever. WG2E. Good night.
Where are you going?
I'm going upstairs to eat some wheat.
I knew it. I was waiting for that. It's like when Tom says, y'all rest easy now. 73, Carl. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the night. KB2 ZBP.
Carl's a man of habit.
And I'm going to go have a bowl of Raisin Bran.
Oh, changing cereals, though, so...
Living on the edge, Carl. Have a good night, V3WL.
See you later, Jeff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hook my DirecTV antenna up tonight, so I'm going to say 73s.
Okay, we'll see you later, Bad Mike.
All right, be good, everybody. You be a good boy now. Be good boys and girls out there.
Good night, Mike. Take care, VE3WL.
73 to Marvin, EK82EXB.
Hello, Steve. I didn't realize you were in there. 1 second. Hey, how's Elaine doing, Jeff?
She's very good. Actually, she was wondering when you're going to see John Prine. That's in the next week or two, isn't it?
Oh, that's coming up this week. We're not going.
I thought you had tickets in Syracuse.
No, we were going to get tickets in Syracuse, but we've got something else on the 20th, right? It's like the 22nd or something, right?
I'm not sure.
Oh, no, it's not. It's a Thursday. That's what it is. It's a Thursday night, and we got thinking about it. We thought that's not a good idea to go to that.
He'll be back around again.
Yeah, I forget why we decided to bag that. There was a reason, though. There was a good reason.
She'll be disappointed you're not going. She was hoping you would have a good time.
I'd like to go. I'd like to go more than Maureen would like to go. She's not as big of a fan of that kind of music, but I mean, as I am. Yeah, it doesn't rock her boat quite as. I like folky stuff. I like understanding the words and I like stories. You know, I'm a story guy. You can probably tell. So when there's somebody singing a song that tells a story, I just really like that.
Oh, it makes it interesting.
Oh, that's what it is. She just said, I like them too, but I'm not into it enough to spend that kind of money, $150, $200 on to go see him. So it's all about the money, Jeff. She's been on me too lately about my antenna expenditures, my pipes, and all this stuff costs money, you know, but I'm getting great deals on it, I keep telling her.
Well, if you're saving money, you're not spending money.
Right. It could have been $1,000 at the...
I remember that philosophy.
Hold on a second. Really? Is there ever a second... Have you ever said to me one time you want to get something I didn't say, well, go ahead and get it? No. All right, then. I don't know where I don't know where that came from, Jeff. For future reference. Okay. All right. I guess that's because she's going to bank it. Boy, the lightning crashes have started to really come up. I guess we're getting some of your Lake Michigan lightning.
Yeah, it's creeped over the lake. It's near Grand Rapids now, so it's getting closer. The noise level went from it went down to about 6. I'm up around 5 over 9 with crashes up to 20.
Yeah, I'm right at 10 over S9, and it's bouncing to 15 over S9, and the crashes are competing with you, so, 30 or so.
All that extra wire you got in here.
Well, it does a good job at picking up noise. I know that.
Well, that's the nice thing about your loop, it's got gain, whereas my antenna is... being in the configuration that it is actually, if you model it out, is less than a dB, which is disappointing, but it's more unity than anything else, whereas you've got, you're probably up around 5 or 6 dB.
I was able to. What's got me on the antenna raisin bug is I was able to. I spent I don't know a few hours. Maureen, we were working out in the yard, and Maureen decided to come in and take a nap. We were just whatever. She took a nap, so I had like a few hours to myself. And to myself, what am I going to do? And I kept looking at this tree that my antenna is steered around, and to me, it's all about making the diameter of the loop as big as possible, you know, and of course higher is not a bad thing. So I started working these two ropes back and forth. It's like they're a couple hundred feet apart. These ropes that I've got this long run of this. You got it in your mind. Look at this long run of wire that goes from that tree to that tree, and then in between that, like 50% of this big bushy tall tree is right in line with these two trees. So I've got a rope coming a couple hundred feet from across the way, pulling the antenna out away from the middle tree, the offending tree, let's call it, and so they've got this, you know, like a half of a diamond kind of around this tree. So I shot a line up over top of this tree. This tree happens to be the tallest tree we have in our yard, and I got a line up over the tree, right perfect where I wanted it. And then I attached it to the wire, and I started pulling it all away and then up, and I wound up clearing all the limbs that I wanted to clear, and now the wire is up probably 30 feet higher than it was, all along this long line. And I had noticed immediately the improvement between Ray and I. We were doing a lot of testing, and I thought, well, you know what? This is actually better, that it is a little bit higher, because it was only like 30 feet in the air before, 30 to 35. And now this side is probably 50 feet or maybe 55 feet or something. So it made a difference. I thought, you know what? If it made a difference on part of the antenna, if I get the entire antenna up at 70 feet, there's going to be a difference. So that's my goal now. So I bought a bunch of pipe and concrete and like that, and I'm going to be putting these tilt up jobs that I can put the corners up around 70 feet or so.
Well, that'll certainly make a big difference. It will lower the angle of radiation for sure. Not a huge amount, but some that you may find it works better, especially when you get out farther, like maybe to mat or something like that. But the other thing that will improve it as well is if the more symmetrical it is, the better off it'll work as well. So if you can make it perfectly square, even on all four sides, then that you'll see an improvement there as well.
Yeah, I'd like to get it. I actually like to get it like a pentagon. You know what I mean? I won't be able to do that. I'd just be happy if I can get the thing up there. It won't be ever symmetrical, probably, because in order to do that, I would have to move some buildings here. But anyway, it'll be higher than it is now. It's the weirdest shaped thing in the world right now. I should record it sometime and send it to you so you understand what I'm trying to talk about. He can't see the antenna though. Yeah, he can see on Google Maps. If you went to Kilo Bravo 2 Zulu Victor Papa and looked at the satellite view, I could probably explain it. But what I ought to do is actually, I ought to draw the map out on that picture. You can do that somehow. Some smart people know how to do that.
Yeah, I've got that on mine. If you look at my QRZ, you'll see the red lines where everything is. But that may be a benefit if you've got it, multi-sided. That of course will improve things as well in the overall gain and lobes off the antenna. So that would help for sure.
This is pretty cool. I can. One day, you'll have to tell me how to put lines on my. What I could do is take a picture of it and draw the lines on. I'll give you my passcode. You can go on my QRZ site and put on the lines where they need to be.
I just used the Microsoft Photo Editor. I downloaded I did a screenshot of Google Maps saved it, and then just did it on the Microsoft Photo Editor, and then put it back up to QRZ.
Oh, okay. So, I'll have to figure that out. That shouldn't be too bad to do.
Yeah, so if you're looking at mine, you can see where my bog is. It runs along the whole south end of the property here, and where the tower is in the center there, and then the two lines go east and west for the horizontal sections of the inverted L. But I was out measuring yesterday, and I can't where I thought I could put the log antenna. I don't have enough room because that whole back half of the house and out to the west of the house is all full of radials. So I underestimated the size measurement, and I don't want to lay anything on top of the radials.
I can understand that. Yeah. So I'm looking at yours. 80 meters, 40, 160. This is what you're using now, 160 on one half and 80 on the other half?
That's exactly what's up here right now. That's all I have are the two wires.
And it's commonly fed, right?
Yep. Yeah, so you'll see in the pictures the two wires that go up the tower on each side, and then they go, the top horizontal sections go off in opposite directions, 90 degrees or 180 degrees to each other. And then they come down and they're fed into my unun at the bottom of the tower and then into the radials.
Oh, I see it. Okay.
So both elements are live all the time, and with my tuner, I can get them to tune on all the bands, but they work the best on 160, 80, and 60 meters. But it works. I do get good results on 40, 20, 30. There's not been much band condition, so I haven't really tried it on 15 or 10, but it'll tune there.
So, due to the low feed point impedance of the L, I put this in. So that's what that resistor is in there, or what is that, a resistor?
Oh, you're talking the resistors. If you're looking at the picture that shows the two bolts on the front, the resistor that goes between the two, that's my lightning protection. That's two 10K. Or is it 10K or mega ohms? I can't remember now. In parallel, so it's 5 meg, and those are metal film resistors for lightning and static bleed off.
Does that actually help with anything?
Oh yeah, I used to get horrible snow static and stuff here when I didn't have them, and then I put them in, and it'll bleed off. I still get it, but the rain static and the snow static's almost zero here. And if there's close lightning strikes and things like that, it'll bleed that electrical energy to ground as well.
Yeah, there's a lot more I could do than I'm doing for sure. So, all right, okay, I'm going to get out of here. It's 10:30, and I've got to get up early in the morning. So, it's been fun talking to you, Jeff. Thanks for your input. I want to ask you more about this stuff, but not tonight because I got to get to bed. But 73, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. VE3WL KB2ZVP.
Yeah, good night, Randy. Good night, Maureen, and anybody else who's roaming around out there. Anytime. I'm an encyclopedia of useless information. 73, VE3WL.
Hey, being an encyclopedia is not all that bad.
It depends on who's asking and what information they want.
Well, I just caught the last couple of comments, and I thought it was quite interesting.
Bye.